Hello, folks! Welcome to our first episode of what's going to no doubt be a blockbuster stream series. It's called Full Disclosure. I'm not the fool. The guests will be the fools on this talk show, podcast. I don't know. What's the difference, right? I don't know what I guess a podcast is like. Podcast usually doesn't have video. This is going to have video, images. Some of them will be very disturbing. So viewer discretion is advised. And it's going to be a wild ride, y'all. It's going to be sick. And speaking of guests, I cannot wait to introduce to you my first guest this evening. Or actually, of the show. I don't think we have any other guests lined up. Were you going to be a guest, Funtime? Tonight? What do you mean you don't know? I got all these questions prepared for you. Yeah. We'll work on it. She's got some interesting things to say, I'm sure. But first, we've got our first guest. He's a real boner. Right? Make no bones about it. He's all about them bones. Also, dinosaur bones. Right? Like penis, right? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for HarrisBoe. Bo.
Hey, so I'm kind of in the middle of a Hades run. Do you think this can wait a bit?
He just deafened everybody, didn't he?
Did I?
Just blow everybody's fucking eardrums out?
Awesome.
Everybody's deaf now. That's sick. Yeah, deafened me too. If you go into Discord, there's a little, and you right click on his, you'll figure it out. Yeah, we all believe
here we go.
in Bun Time. Everybody pray.
Sure.
Pray for Bun Time. Everybody send your prayers.
I mean, I've also got microphone settings in
To our
Discord.
little production bunny. Everybody's praying for you so hard. Do you feel it? You feeling the prayers? I'm praying so hard. So you never seen like he just doesn't have a volume setting, this gentleman?
I do.
Harris, why are you a fucking entity of chaos and don't have a volume setting on Discord? What's wrong? What's going on there? Why are you?
I've literally been saying that I do, and have you not been hearing me? Am I not audible now?
Yeah, you're audible. The problem was you were too audible, and everybody's ears are bleeding, brother.
This.
You can work on that.
This is 35% volume.
What?
No. Okay.
What?
15%.
What? What?
Okay, I am officially at 15% volume.
What?
People in chat are saying it.
Bro, what? Not talking to you. Bro, what?
Alright, 25%. How's this?
What?
38%.
Do what now?
Oh, how about this, chat?
What?
Alright.
Did you find his volume settings? Sick. Alright. Guys, who the fuck says prayer doesn't work? Y'all, Buntime found the volume settings on Discord. Yo, all the fucking prayers, all your thoughts and prayers, the power of prayer, folks. You saw it happen here live. That's the first miracle of many that you're going to see on Full Disclosure. It's going to be insane. Like, we're going to have the Virgin Mary up in this bitch. She's not going to stay a virgin for long, if you know what I mean. I'm going to put my penis in her vagina, Harris. Do what now? Do what now?
I'm just being a penis.
Oh. What?
right, so how long is this bit gonna go on for?
Can you make him louder?
Oh, Jesus Christ, it's still not fit.
Yeah. So it looks like we got some tech issues on the Bun Time side. Our $150 headphones I purchased for this exact purpose stopped working. Hello? Test? Harris, could you say something for our production crew? We're having a bit of a moment here.
How loud do you want me?
Just talk at your normal speaking volume, please.
Oh, all right. So, how's this?
Could you keep talking?
Okay. Let's see. Zip, zoop, zobbity, boop. There's probably somebody new in chat, but I don't know for sure.
Yeah, all right.
Okay. Cool.
You sure? So, dinosaurs. What's up with that, man? Turn the music off. Please, get that fucking music out of my face, bro.
Dinosaurs, yeah. What exactly is up with them?
Yeah, what's the dinosaur, man? Fill up chat with knowledge and fill them up.
Well, okay.
What's a
For those of you who don't know, millions of years before humans existed, the Earth was filled with. Oh, okay. There's the CRT you were telling me about. Okay, the Earth was.
What are you fucking blind? We were looking at it for the entire stream. It was right there.
Yeah, I guess I'm incredibly oblivious. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
Fun fact, guys, we put a and this is where you would switch to like both of us. We had a little CRT filter that I was gonna put on the TV. It was so cute. It crashed OBS like 5 times. So we can't use it. It was so cute though. It was a real fucking shame. So you got dinosaurs, right? They were what were they like? Gay guys? What was that about?
I mean, some of them maybe. Who knows? No, dinosaurs. Believe it or not,
it's fucking crazy.
Big and small. Lots of animals that you don't see around today. Believe it or not, they went extinct. And believe it or not, this is actually something that I've had to legitimately explain before. Last year, we had some Amish people come into the museum I was working at.
Uh-oh. Not the Amish. Oh, boy.
The thing is, they were like waiting for a train because apparently, even though they can't, use technology, they're still allowed to like ride on trains and stuff. And they came in saying that they'd never even heard about the concept of dinosaurs before, which I found like, the thought of somebody not knowing that dinosaurs existed, I thought was actually really interesting. But they were actually chat. I've been seeing a lot of oh no's in chat, but no, they were actually very receptive to it. I heard that they ended up coming back this year, and they even brought some gifts in the form of unsalted peanuts and hard-boiled eggs.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
But yeah, no, unfortunately I only got a few minutes to talk with them, but I have actually been in a position where I've had to explain the concept of dinosaurs to people.
So you're in it was like a museum or
yeah.
Like a
Yeah, no.
And you're sitting there, you're working, and these people they come in and you could see they're Amish because they got they're wearing all they're wearing their little what do you call it the little what do you call it the little you know what I'm saying the get up with the hoods and the what is it? It's the one with the you should put the camera on me when I'm talking for the podcast. It's the one where they've got the woman and she's like not into like there's like a Christo-fascist empire, and that's the setting, and like they take the women, they force them to like marry fat guys or something, and then they have babies for them. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? The Handmaid's Tale. It was like the fucking Handmaid's Tale. So you're working in the museum, you got the fucking Handmaid's Tale coming up in there.
Chat Morbius.
Right? And what happened?
Oh, chat. I saw somebody in chat say Morbius.
Don't look at that. Don't look at the fucking chat. So you got the Amish come in. They're in there up in their what do you call it? Handmaid's Tale outfits, and they look at you and they say, what is a dinosaur? So what is the you don't immediately laugh in their face and call them like stupid? You don't immediately just start laughing. You're like you're fucking get out of here, dumbass. You don't. That's not your reaction. You don't do that. How do you control yourself from saying that? How do you control yourself?
Part of it was just like sort of shock because I never even considered the fact that people didn't, were living in modern society that, well, I guess they are sort of their
they're kind of not though, are they? They're not really.
But, yeah. No,
they must have wild sex, huh? The Amish?
I think they probably wouldn't. That it just sort of makes me
probably
think
bring
that
like corn into it and stuff, like.
Okay, well, country girls do make do.
That's what I'm saying. He knows. He knows. Yeah, it's probably all fucked up. Probably weird and wild Amish sex, because they don't know any of our stuff. They don't know the weird stuff we do out here, so they gotta like make up their own shit. Maybe they're like incorporating acrobatics and stuff. Well, we have that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe they're incorporating all sorts of.
Like, what could they even do that isn't done already today? You
know what? I'd be curious to know if an Amish person, right? Because see, the arc of the universe bends towards like Waluigi porn, and inevitably we're always going to have Waluigi porn.
Yeah, no, right? I have heard it said that Christ saw all the sins of mankind, so he still decided to sacrifice himself after seeing someone blast rope to Waluigi porn.
That's why I'm bringing that up. You remember that conversation? So I'm saying in the Amish society, do they end up like independently creating Waluigi porn, even though they have no idea who Waluigi is?
So, like,
here's what I'm saying. I was
all
tying it into your job. That's because I'm a good host already. We've only been doing this like 10 minutes. I already did something fucking brilliant. I was bringing up this convergent evolution to tie it back towards your shit. Right. Look at that.
Yeah, that's my shit. That's my shit.
That's his shit. I think they do. I think they do have their own like version of the Waluigi stuff. But yeah, I mean that's fucking crazy. It is. No, it is crazy to think that they would be that they're walking around like not knowing even what the fuck that is. That's wild. So you gotta have a lot of patience in that situation, right? Because they believe that the Earth was only about like 500 years old. What do you got to tell them? Like, nah, you're stupid. Again, you got to just be like.
I've dealt with people who, frankly, the Amish people were much more receptive to what I was saying than some other people that I have spoken into the past who, may actually be young Earth creationists and believe that the Earth is 6,000 years old or something. Or, I've had long discussions with people who are into intelligent design and all that stuff. But I was like surprised. It didn't seem like they saw it as some sort of affront to their religion. Although, as I mentioned, I only got like 5 minutes with them before they had to take their train. But
What's a train?
I think,
Did you?
No, you don't see them very much in America. They are these forms of this thing called public transportation.
Yeah.
Where it is like, okay, you can have multiple people go to similar places all at once.
Yeah, that's fucking sick, dude. So that's fucking wild, bro. These people, they're they're stupid. But here's the thing, right? You're gonna explain to somebody from the ground up the concept of a dinosaur. I think somebody really uninitiated would be like, "You're yanking my cock. You're full of shit." Wait, what do you mean there was a giant fucking lizard like? Right? I'd be like, you're fucking full of shit. There's no way that existed. Like, I'm not stupid. I might be Amish, but I'm not I'm not stupid, right? That didn't happen. You're insulting my intelligence, right? So how do you get that conversation going?
Well, frankly, I mean, I feel like with anybody, of course, there are a lot of people who, for all sorts of different reasons, don't believe that dinosaurs existed,
Uh,
such as Buntime's dad, apparently.
is that true,
Um,
Buntime?
but
Mm,
yeah,
well,
what I say to
unsurprising.
yeah, basically, it's interesting because it is very hard to sort of understand when you may be so far separated from it. But in some of the like Rocky Mountain states, like Montana and the Dakotas, Utah, especially Montana and the Dakotas, dinosaurs are actually a massive part of the local culture. You will have towns that are, sort of these small towns in the middle of nowhere, but dinosaurs are sort of the pride and joy of town. They are the only thing that brings in outside revenue. And, everybody in town will either, like, lots of people in town are ranch owners. And so either they will have, like, dinosaur bones on their property
Yeah.
or somebody who has them. And so, for anybody who doesn't believe they exist, I just like, spend a day with me, out in the field, and I'll send you back a changed person.
Imagine you like this super hyper Christian guy, and you're super Christian, and you're all about like your guns and your Jesus and all that shit. And then you're out in your fucking field, and you're digging up, getting ready to plant some turnips or whatever these assholes do, and your shovel hits something hard, and it's a dinosaur bone. What have you seen that? And then the guy's fucking mind just melts. His whole worldview just shatters. His mind's blown. He's like a ruined man. Have you ever seen that? Have you ever seen someone have a fucking psychological breakdown over discovering a dinosaur bone? And why not?
Not not a psychological breakdown, but actually it is. Out here there are a whole lot of very Christian, very conservative people who are the landowners, and they seem to be able to, whatever their beliefs are, they seem to incorporate the fact that there are dinosaurs on their property into those beliefs.
So just say, Jesus put those bones down there. That's what
Yeah, or
like that.
they'll think that it happened, or they're from the Great Flood that happened, and
Yeah.
that I guess
Wow.
Noah failed in saving every species of animal. But yeah, it's very interesting because it was like 10 years ago. I remember seeing an article about like how in these divisive times. Both the left and the right are incredibly divided on all scientific topics except for dinosaurs. Everybody loves dinosaurs. And
What kind of refrigerator is that?
dinosaurs?
What kind of refrigerator is that? What, do you got a Smeg?
Oh, behind me. Frigidaire. It came with the apartment.
It's not a Smeg?
No, it's not a Smeg. Although, I have heard good things.
I've heard really good things about Smeg. This podcast sponsored by Smeg. Get your Smeg on. What?
I don't think you can say that.
Okay, I can't. You don't think I can say what?
That you're sponsored by someone when you're not sponsored by them.
What the fuck's gonna? She said you can't say it. What's gonna happen?
If it doesn't exist in the first place, Buntime, I don't think anybody's going to get mad at him.
Smeg is a real appliance company.
My brother in Christ, you are the Amish tourist to my paleontologist right now. I have to sit here and explain to you that Smeg is in fact real. And it is a brand of appliance that exists, and for some reason they named it after smegma. You're going to make me do this right now?
Can I say to like the
Google it. Google it right now. Google
20
Smeg.
20 degrees to the right of my screen because that's where I need to look to look like I'm talking to you, apparently.
You don't have to do that. Just what you have to do right now is go Google smegma right now.
All right. Google jabronimike smegma. Oh, God.
So, what I wanted to ask was, I forgot. Shit. Right, so left and right can only agree on dinosaurs, and it's one of the only things that they agree about, that dinosaurs existed.
It's-
That's what you're saying.
I would say it is like, yeah, because I mean, I don't think it is a hot take to say that things are very divided politically right now, but you know, it is one thing that even now I found very unifying between the two sides, and I think it's actually pretty wholesome, to be perfectly honest. That no matter what the political beliefs, everybody is sort of able to come together, you know, in their love of paleontology, of fossils, of dinosaurs. These generally highly conservative ranch owners and these typically liberal academic types, the paleontologists. It's like everybody, the news will make you think that these types of people should be at each other's throats all the time, but really, it's like we are all so happy to to work together because we all want to know more about this stuff, and I think that's really cool and really sweet, honestly.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Is that what you think? Yeah, that's what you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, really?
Could say so.
So why paleontology? Why, I mean, look at it this way, right? Why would someone become a paleontologist, right? I mean, think of it like this, right? I feel like it takes, and I don't want you to get offended by this, but I feel like it takes a special kind of asshole to say, okay, I'm going to commit my life to like rolling around in dirt essentially every day with no real benefit to speak of. I mean, you're not really making money off that, right? You're rolling around in the dirt, digging around, playing around in mud for like your whole life, making no money, really, negligible amounts of money, and just being like okay with that, right? And then, you say you find a dinosaur, right? You discover a dinosaur. Everybody's like, yeah, cool. All right, well, what does that really change? What does that really accomplish for anybody? What does that really do? That doesn't mean anything to anybody except, you and like nerds like you. So what is the? I get what's the thought process of that, right?
Believe it or not, I actually have heard people have a similar take where it's like, wow, paleontology is pretty cool. It's too bad that it's pointless. People who have legitimately believed that. And, the thing with that is that, first of all, to believe that would mean that you don't think there's any value in knowledge for knowledge's sake. I believe that, knowledge, scientific knowledge about the world is just inherently good to have. But also, I do know that there are a lot of people who look into things like paleoclimatology, where they learn about how radical climate changes that happened in the deep past, affected the world and are able to relate that to what is going on today.
Yeah, but isn't that just cope? Isn't that just cope? You're like, I had this expensive paleontology degree, and like I can't make money with it. So, I mean, how many people was that? Like 2 guys that do that?
I don't know how many are in
like 2 guys?
That kind of thing, but I do know paleontology itself is a very small field. It tends to be one of those like everybody knows everybody type of fields. I do know that the Society of Vertebrate Paleontology, which I believe is the world's largest organization for professional vertebrate paleontologists, at least, only has about 2,500 members.
No, I'm not trying to take a dig at you with this.
Yeah, no, I'm.
You get it? You get it? You get it?
Oh, yeah, I get it.
Trying to take a dig.
Yeah. But
I'm not trying to take a dig at you here. It's just, what? Why do that? Like, why didn't you just go into finance? You can learn. Listen, knowledge for knowledge's sake. I understand that. You can get knowledge about how to make a ton of money and scam people out of their fucking retirements and shit, right? But then in that instance, then you can get like, you can live large and get a Lamborghini and everything, and then you can imagine all the dinosaur bones you could look for in your Lamborghini. I feel like you're working at this problem backwards.
Yeah, the simple answer to that is that we're all just artists that followed our special interest and turned it into a career.
Okay, so what do you like? What do you think is like the highest paying paleontologist position? What do you think it's like? Like the guy who's like the Jeff Bezos of paleontology, you know? Who's the guy, the
That's a
big
good
guy
question.
at the top of the fucking food chain there? Who's the
I,
Giganotosaurus of the
one thing
industry?
about paleontology is that, we tend to make peanuts. So a lot of the way that paleontologists end up making money is, in a way, kind of like streamers, where you have to make a sort of secondary income through either like book
Sucking
deals
cock.
or documentary, sucking cock, documentary appearances, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just so I, yeah, just in paleontology, a lot of paleontologists do need to either take other secondary jobs or find other sources of income, just because, it does not make much. But it's
What's
generally
your so what's your side gig? What do you do? You know,
well,
suck
my
cock?
side gig right now. I mean, I'm part of your chat, of course, but I,
You
you
know,
know,
chatoid
it,
through and through.
right now, I'm actually working at a university's veterinary lab. So many paleontologists end up working in university veterinary departments because there is a lot of crossover. We learn a lot about ancient animals and their biology by looking at modern animal biology. So you can learn a lot. When I was doing my master's research, I actually dissected emus and looked at their hind limb bones to learn about troodontids.
Did you eat 'em?
Jim?
Did you eat 'em?
Oh, did I eat him? Okay.
No, I said Jeetum. Jeetum.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a fermented inhalant that is created from the gallbladder of the emu. You inhale it deeply, and you kind of have a spirit quest. It's like some ayahuasca type shit. So you gotta bury the fucking emu bladder underground, let it rot for a little while, and then you dig it up and you huff it. It's good for your penis.
Surprised me. Apparently, there's all sorts of I got my emus from a ranch upstate, one of, I think, like 2 emu ranches in the U.S., and they actually specialized in emu oils and all these medicinal effects that
See,
come
I
from
told
emu.
you can get high off the emus. You can get stoned. You know
Yeah,
where you
but
should be getting emus? You gotta get them off Temu. That's where they sell them wholesale.
the emu.
How come you didn't laugh at that? You cunt!
But
kidding, buddy.
to answer the question that you may or may not even have been asking is, I didn't eat the emus that I was using for my research, but one time when
That's what I was trying to ask. Yes, absolutely. Sorry.
one time when I was picking up the emus for from the ranch, the owners of the ranch gifted me some emu steaks and emu sausages, and those I did eat.
Yeah, how was it? How was it? Was that delicious?
It tasted a lot like beef. It tastes like beef, but
Beef.
it's more lean.
Yeah, ostrich is very beefy as well. I found similar fucking bird, right? Same shit, really. So
Very simple. Yeah.
tell us about your life, Harris. What's wrong with you? Why are you what were you when you were like a kid? Did you see like I don't know, some like wear back or something and it like gave you a kink? Dino kink?
I
Was it like
don't
Rescue
think I've
Rangers
watched
for
Where
furries?
Back. Like I remember seeing Where Back all the time at Blockbuster, but I didn't want anything to do with that movie because I only wanted to watch movies where dinosaurs were eating people.
I think that happens in that movie. Doesn't that like 100% happen in that movie? I'm pretty sure that does happen, bro. But yeah, all right. So I mean, where like give us a little bit of your background, like where are you from? You're from like a small town, dox yourself.
grew-
Dox yourself.
I-
No. Don't.
I-
I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
I've more or less doxed myself on your stream before, but
Oh, so then go for it again at that point.
well, I mean, Jesus Christ. No, I grew up on the East Coast mainly.
Okay.
Both in
You're from
northern
Florida.
Virginia
You're from
and-
Florida, aren't you?
No, not Florida. No, Northern Virginia, and I also spent several years in North Jersey.
How'd you get into dinosaurs?
It was like basically every paleontologist. I was a dinosaur kid where I was absolutely obsessed with them when I was little. But around when I was maybe 5 years old or so, I got to the point where, back then, internet wasn't what it is today. And so really the only source of new dinosaur information I had available to me as a 5-year-old was the local library. And I had already read every book at the local
Fun
library
time!
times over. Oh, what Bun do?
Bring me my nuggies. Harris, I'm sorry, buddy. Do you mind if I eat during this? I didn't have dinner. I'm really fucking hungry, bro. I just gotta nosh a little bit. Is that cool?
Okay. Do you mind if I ham it up a bit on stream?
What do you mean? I'm not having ham. I'm having chicken.
No, I'm having ham.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I'm hamming it up, dog.
Harris, let's dine together.
Here's.
What the fuck is this? No, this is the wrong fucking ketchup. This is the low sugar ketchup. Go get me the fucking regular ketchup.
That's the ketchup that we have.
No, there's ketchup in there. It's not low sugar. It's full sugar. This has no high fructose corn syrup. I want the fructose. I want the corn syrup.
I could have sworn
Yes.
I heard you ask Bun Time for nuggies like 3 hours ago when we were still setting up this stream.
What?
At this point, I can't even tell when you are actually not able to hear me because of tech issues or if you're just doing the bit. So I'll just pretend that you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'll say it again. I could have sworn that about 3 hours ago, I heard you ask Bun Time for nuggies while we were still setting up for stream.
Fun time? Hold on, she's getting the high fructose corn syrup ketchup. I didn't have nuggies before.
Well, because she didn't bring them to you, apparently. You asked her for them.
Bro, did I already eat these? Did I already eat nuggets? Oh my god, did I like?
I don't know. You were on audio only when we were setting up. I don't know if you actually got them.
I don't know if I ate already, man. I mean, I feel hungry.
This is the only ketchup we have.
Fine, just give me. If it's the only cat, give me the fucking shit. Fine.
I know.
Fine.
Does
Fine.
Bun Time
Fucking
have to mention too? Maybe she
fine.
remembered that she brought you nuggies earlier.
Fine. Fucking fine. 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 I'll have the no high fructose corn syrup ketchup like a cuck instead of the fructose corn syrup Chad that I meant to be. Fine. Fair. Hey, Harris. Hey, Harris.
Yeah?
Look what I got.
Dino nuggies?
They're dino.
yeah.
They're dino nuggies, buddy.
I found nuggie shaped like throat pillows that you can buy on Amazon. It's like I'm very tempted to get those.
Fun time. Put the camera on the nuggies. Put on Jurassic Park music. No, don't do it. It's the Mega DMCA. Don't do it. Dun, 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 dun. Oh no! The Stegosaurus got his head bitten off. Oh no! Oh no! Yum, yum. Yum. Oh no! Yeah, that's good shit. All right, I'm sorry. What the fuck were you saying, brother? Your life. You were at the
Yeah.
library and you took a shit in the middle of the library like a little bastard. That's funny. I would have did the same
Well,
thing.
that happened a few times, but that's unrelated. So yeah, after having gone through all the library's dinosaur books several times over and having nothing left available for me that was new to learn, I sort of drifted away for a while. But in college, I was actually studying archaeology, and one day I was just sitting in my room thinking, this feels almost right, but something feels off. And then for some reason, out of nowhere, it hit me like a brick. That like, oh yeah, my first love, dinosaurs, and that's when I switched majors and never looked back.
Fucking wild. You ever get laid as a result of dinosaurs? You ever like impress somebody with the dinosaur knowledge so much that they drop their panties?
I was expecting it to be more of a panty dropper than it actually is.
Man, that's what playing drums was like. I thought everybody was going to be into that, and they all just want to fuck the guitarist.
Yeah, is that how Vinny took your wife?
Yeah, right. So he can have the bitch. So growing up, you're at the library. You're reading books about dinosaurs. They ran out of books for you to read. What was the next step?
All sorts of things.
Self-education?
Not self-educated. I mean, I just spent years trying to figure out what I wanted to do with myself. There were some years where I thought, oh, maybe go into robotics, and it's like, no, I not able to do that. I spent a couple years where thought maybe law, but then I realized that law is not actually as interesting as the Ace Attorney games make it seem.
You could have went into dino law. You ever looked at dino law?
Fossil law is actually something that
that's real. I was being a penis.
Yeah,
that exists.
No,
Wow.
Yeah, no. This is like the third time where you've tried being a penis, and it's like, no, that's actually a real thing.
It's happened so often. It's crazy. It's a big, wide world out there, full of stuff. So, how do you litigate for extinct creatures? What's going on with that? What kind of dinosaur makes a good lawyer? Dilophosaurus, right?
-2.
I'll just leap across this room and bite your jugular, and watch you bleed out on that couch.
You're gonna hurt your teeth on the television.
By the way, how is the couch? Is it comfortable? We wanted to make that comfortable for the guests.
Oh, thank you. It's very comfortable. It's I'm actually surprised by how comfy it is.
How do you feel about the fact that I'm eating these dinosaurs? This chicken.
Yeah, no, it is modern dinosaurs that were killed and shaped into the form of their ancestors.
It's a fucking crazy thing, right? Does it like upset you?
No.
Because you love dinosaurs? You sure this isn't like breaking your heart right now?
I eat dino. I mean, thing about being a paleontologist is that you can eat dino nuggies and nobody can tell you otherwise. That and dinosaur oatmeal. It's like I have
that shit. I used to love that shit. You too, right?
It still exists.
You still eat it?
Yeah. No, that still bangs. That still fucks.
I used to like to go and open the packages, and I would pick out the eggs, and then I would just eat the eggs just by themselves and leave all the gay oatmeal. You ever do that?
I might have when I was younger, but not anymore. I've become a boring adult who actually eats the oatmeal.
Because the eggs were like what, little gummies wrapped in sugar. It was fucking candy, basically.
Hard candy that was encased in sugar or something.
So, have you ever discovered a new dinosaur, and why didn't you name it after me?
So I have not discovered it yet, but a lot of paleontologists discover at least one new species during their career. So I'm hoping that the day will come. And Yeah. One thing that I was anticipating you to bring up the thought of naming a species after you.
We've
This
talked
right
about this
here,
before. We've talked about this
yes,
before. Yeah.
this right here, this 300-page book is the International Code on Zoologic Nomenclature. It is the book on all of the rules and stuff regarding naming new species.
Did you say nomenclature?
Yes.
What is that like? It's about gnomes,
I wish. God, that would be awesome.
garden gnomes, like that, like Romeo and Juliet. Remember, did you see that movie? That was fucking great.
Oh yeah, especially the part where that one grandpa gnome like twerks in his G-string or whatever it was.
That did happen, right? That was hot. Jamie, bring that up. Jamie, bring up the grandpa gnome sexy twerking in his G string. The G stands for gnome. Bring it up. Put it on screen. I want to see it.
No,
Put it on screen. I want to admire it.
I don't want to.
Put it on screen. I want to enjoy that grandpa, that sexy grandpa gnome twerking his penis. Put it on screen. Don't put it on screen. Don't put it on screen. I was just kidding.
If it's to DMCA, we can always have another senile old man twerking a G-string if you are willing.
It's a low blow, Harris. It's a low blow. Are you sure? Are you sure? You want to go down this route?
You were already going to go down this route, whether I initiated it or not.
That is true. So the book about the gnomes, what goes on in that book?
It just talks about rules involving naming new species, and also gives a whole lot of examples of how things are to be settled if maybe there is a dispute about species names or something. Like if somebody discovers a species and names it, and then another person discovers something new, names it, but then they end up being the same species. And it's like, all right, so whose name is the valid name? Stuff like that. There's all sorts of different situations in which names may need to be disputed. And it is something that with some species, their names have been disputed and continue to be disputed after, over 100 years. It is a continuous problem.
So what is it like if you decide that you want to, if you want to name a dinosaur, like Harrisosaurus, and then, but there already is a Harrisosaurus or something. So there's like a protocol for like if two people want to name it a Harrisosaurus or something. I'm like really I'm confused. This feels like a lot.
Well,
this feels like it might be too much for my brain, my small tiny brain. To be honest.
And first of all, it's sort of like an unspoken rule in paleontology that you never name a dinosaur you discover after yourself.
Is that right? So what are you supposed to name it after?
It's kind of considered a dick move to do so.
Is it?
Sometimes, if you have people who, if you end up being like a graduate advisor or something, you may have students who decide to name things after you, like in your honor, or maybe after you die.
But you can't name it after yourself. Naming it after yourself is considered like cringe, basically. It's like, ooh.
Yeah, basically.
Ooh, that's cringe.
But a lot of times
Narcissist.
we will. Yeah, a lot of times what will happen is that, if you're not naming it after maybe another paleontologist who mentored you or inspired you or something, it may be named after, like if you're working on private land, it is very often named after the landowners. Just sort of like
it's like basically where the bones were found. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, so then all I got to do if I want a dinosaur named after me is find some bones where I live. So just start like digging into the landlord's foundation. It was like start going at it with a jackhammer and seeing if there's fucking bones down there. And then if I find anything, it gets to be jabronimike. Or is it a little bit more?
It'd be hard to do in New York City just because there's going to be a lot of glacial till on top of it, and it may have actually already destroyed any bones that were once there. But what I would say is go and buy some property out in buy some ranch land out in Montana and hope that there's bones there that you can find.
You don't think there's any bones underneath me right now? You think that's completely impossible because of
No.
glacial till, as you call it?
No, it's not impossible. I mean, I do know
Glacial
that
till.
there are dinosaur fossils and bones that have been found in your area, but it's pretty difficult to find, and they're oftentimes in very poor condition.
Mm. Wow. Sad.
Yeah, yeah. No, I feel like one of the saddest things that there is just thinking about the fact that there are large swaths of the world in which the conditions aren't right, and that we'll never know, a whole bunch of species that may have lived there. Just because if you got something like the Amazon rainforest, tree roots love to wrap themselves around and break fossil bones, and so places that are heavily vegetated will often result in fossil bones that may have been there being destroyed. So think about the Amazon rainforest. That's a large portion of the planet that we're never gonna, for the most part, we're never gonna know what.
Nothing was preserved. Nothing was preserved.
Almost nothing. Yeah. I mean, there have been things found in South America. I'm not quite sure about the Amazon rainforest itself. I imagine that would probably be a very difficult place to start digging, but I do know that in places like Argentina and Chile and stuff, there have been a fair number of fossil species found there. But yeah, I feel like it'd be difficult, very difficult to find anything in the Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how many species we're just never going to know about because they died in inconvenient places or just places where there's the record's not going to be preserved or what have you. It's probably like way more species than we are aware of. Like I'm sure we're aware of like an actual very small percentage.
There have been estimates
of all the species that have existed, right?
Yeah, I mean, part of it is I guess part of it is just sort of the definition of a species, because especially when you're talking about things like paleontology, when you're only working with bones, it's hard to work with the general biological species concept, where it's like, okay, if two animals are able to have offspring and those offspring are still fertile, then it's considered a valid species. Can't really do that in paleontology. We sort of have to come with somewhat arbitrary lines that separate one species from another. That also creates arguments. You may have heard a few years back, like I think maybe 2 years ago, the media was all abuzz about some study that came out that was saying, oh, T-Rex is actually 3 different species.
Yeah, I remember that shit.
It's like 2 days after that paper came out, there was a sort of rebuttal paper, because oftentimes when you see one of these media articles, or a lot of them in this case, and they say, oh, paleontologists say this, there's oftentimes a chance where it's like, it actually means 1 or 2 paleontologists say this, and we're just not going to mention like the hundreds that are saying that's bullshit.
So what you're saying is that you're full of shit right now.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah. What you're saying is paleontologists, by and large, are full of shit. Is that true? Is that true to say that? Is that accurate? Do you feel like that's an accurate statement?
No, I wouldn't say by and large. I mean, there are some.
I do. I say that.
There are some half-frauds out there, but for the most part,
I think that's true.
All right.
I think you guys sensationalize things, and you like to, make big deals out of shit, like the whole Spinosaurus thing. Like, oh, it's it's got a tail, or no, it doesn't. And then everybody's like, no, don't listen to that guy. I don't know, he's a cuck. That's true. Like, there was a cuckoldry scandal in the paleontology community a couple of years back, right? I'd heard about that. There was a guy being cucked. He was into it, though, so it was just interesting because it seemed unprofessional. And then he named the dinosaur. He named it Cuckosaurus, and everybody was like, ooh, dude, no, can't do that. Can't name a dinosaur after yourself.
I thought we already established that there was not yet a dinosaur named after you.
That's very funny. I'm proud of you, man. I want you to know that. I'm not proud of a lot of people in this community. In fact, I'm ashamed of most of them, but I'm very proud of you. I feel like you've done something with your life that is worth it. And like I know I was just kind of like I was just being contrarian before. Of course, I don't think paleontology is fucking stupid and that you're a special kind of asshole. Of course, I don't think that. I can't help but feel like I'm responsible for what you were able to achieve in your life. Is it safe to say that because you've been watching me stream for like how many years? What did you
Like
say?
7.5 years.
So it's pretty safe to say that I, with my wisdom and my guidance and my temperance and grace, I was able to shepherd you into this lucrative, successful field where you command respect and success.
I mean, unironically, I will say that it has always been very nice. Just how supportive
did
and
this.
interested you have been
Like,
about it. I still remember, I still remember the stream where I told you that I had been accepted into a master's program. You were playing Wander Song, and so it's like, yeah, you believe it or not, you have been there, alongside me in a weird way for this for many years. Like you
really
were there when I got into a master's program. You were there. I was in contact with you, like even if it was over email, when I was, getting ready to finally get my master's, and I told you about once I was, got that job as a museum director, even if it was for a very small museum, it's still a big deal.
I'm going to go ahead and take credit for your entire career. Is that cool? You're cool with me doing that, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
You heard him, everybody. You heard him. I basically made this guy. Let me ask you a question. I got a question for you.
I may or may not have an answer.
What fictional depiction of dinosaurs pisses you off the most? I know this is a thing among the paleontologists, and they sit around and look at movies and they go, "That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. Fuck you, that's wrong." Yeah. Like that's you, right? So which thing pisses you off the most?
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, basically all of us in paleontology are artists that just took our special interests and made a career out of it. So, of course, we're going to be incredibly pedantic about it. But at this point, I feel like the Jurassic Park World Series, it almost has like a monopoly on dinosaur media in a lot of ways. And I remember it pisses me off just how they refuse to sort of change everything or anything at all in the Jurassic World series. I believe it was the lovely and talented Rich Evans of Red Letter Media who put it so well when he said something along the lines of, Jurassic Park very much furthered the public's understanding of paleontology and dinosaurs and brought it up to date to what paleontologists knew in the 1990s. But Jurassic World is knowingly keeping them in the 1990s, essentially.
Well, I think they don't want to fuck with the brand, right? Is the idea they don't want to they kind of grandfathering in the original fellas.
I think that they
right?
also are part of sort of stubborn. They may be. I mean, I remember at least with the first 10 years ago when they were coming out with the first Jurassic World movies. I mean, that was a time when there were a lot more people it's gotten a lot better now, but back then, a lot of the public was still thinking, oh, feathers on dinosaurs aren't scary. I don't want them in my, dinosaur media. So I think that they were sort of just going with that at the time. I think things have changed a lot in the last 10 years and that a lot of people have become more receptive to the idea. There are still some holdouts. I know that your buddy Wooly Versus, he is on record saying that he hates the thought of feathers on dinosaurs, and I'd love to someday get the opportunity to prove him wrong.
How you gonna do that? How you gonna do that? You're gonna dress up like a giant dinosaur with feathers and just go scare the shit out of them?
Obviously.
That could be pretty funny, actually. I'll try to set that up. I'll try to arrange that.
All right. Yeah. Let me know.
I'll try to abuse his trust to put him in a situation where you can like FNAF the fuck out of him in a giant feathery dinosaur costume. Yeah, that
Perfect.
sounds like the play. We could do that. Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, if you think about it, what is it? You're saying scales are scarier than feathers? I think if you
No,
have
I
a
don't think
giant
so.
fucking monster, right? You're not really gonna be discerning about whether or not it's like chasing you down, trying to like disembowel you. I think whether or not the fact it has feathers is like irrelevant,
Yeah. No, that's what I've always said.
right?
You
I
know.
think it's like so it has feathers, that's less scary. Is it though? It's still a giant
Yeah.
fucking
If
horrifying
it wants to kill you, it wants to
abomination
kill
of
you.
biology, right?
And I'd say that in terms of modern animals, large birds are some of the scariest things out there.
They're
Like,
fucking terrifying. I had an encounter with
yeah,
geese yesterday. I don't know if you were in the stream, but I had a goose
I,
encounter. You
I
weren't
was
watching
actually,
my stream?
you
You
know,
weren't
yesterday
watching my stream?
I was watching it a bit, but then ended up getting dinner with a buddy of mine who was visiting.
You don't have buddies. What do you mean you aren't watching my stream? Did you cover your shift?
Obviously, I've got like 3 people to cover my shift. Who do you think I
Put him
am?
on probation. Put him on probation. You're on probation. All right? We're not fucking around over here. You're on probation. This is serious
Like
shit.
like 3 of those new chatters that came in yesterday, those were all from me.
All right. We'll see. We're going to look into that. We're going to verify the veracity of that, okay?
All right.
Now, what dinosaur pisses you off in particular? If you watch these films, you ever see a depiction of one of these creatures that you know is super wrong and it just kind of like, it just kind of grinds your gears a little bit? You have one like that? Which one?
I can't say that there's like one particular, but I feel like, just anything where it's like, oh, despite us having evidence of feathers, they may refuse to put the feathers on it. Or I feel like right now, I was recently watching the new Walking with Dinosaurs, and it was pissing me off that
I heard it sucked.
Yeah, no, it did suck. Prehistoric Planet is still the GOAT. But yeah, they had a whole segment on Spinosaurus where it's like, they were really going hard into it being like fully aquatic, when I think that is just you're setting yourself up to be dated, because it is still very much hotly debated whether or not it actually, swam through rivers and
Yes,
such.
I see is tons of nerds arguing about that dinosaur in particular. I brought it up earlier. That's why I brought it
Yeah,
up.
and it is something that is like every 6 months there's a new paper about it, and taking one position or the other. And frankly, a lot of paleontologists get pissed off about it. And we wish that there was a way to just get some sort of consensus, but there seems to be some weird contradictory information that some of the information we got makes it seem like it may have been aquatic, but others it's like
Both.
no, that
It's clearly both. How difficult is it to come to the conclusion that it's both at this point? It's semi-aquatic. It's like a fucking alligator or something. It's land and water.
Well,
It's both.
the problem is that when you've got something the size of a Spinosaurus, just navigating rivers is going to be sort of a logistical issue.
We have
the-
evidence that it is a piscivore, do we not?
Yeah, but the thing is that you can still be a piscivore if you are, getting your fish from the shoreline. The sort of other theory about what it may have been doing is acting like a stork, where it would just sort of nab into the water.
Yeah, but right there, you got a semi-aquatic animal. That's a semi-aquatic animal at that point. Like, that's-
Really, would you consider storks semi-aquatic? Like I'd consider.
Yeah, they're fucking. They hang out in swamps and shit. Yeah, they're fucking. They're definitely aquatic.
It's sort of,
right?
it's more like, okay, I'd say it sort of depends on how much time you are spending in the water and or actually swimming.
What percentage? What percentage of time in the water spent swimming would you
Yeah,
say
yeah,
is
yeah.
considered to be semi-aquatic? I'm
Listen,
being
you
a
made
dick,
a
but I
whole-
do genuinely find this
made a
very
whole
interesting.
rap that was basically one big call out to me. So this isn't gonna bug me.
You know who I always found particularly egregious? Dilophosaurus. Right? That whole neck frills with the spitting of the acid bullshit. That's pretty fucked up, right? Like that one, that's just pure pull it out of your ass, pure fantasy,
Yeah,
right?
that was pure fantasy. There is
Yeah.
no
Absolutely
evidence
none of it. None of
like
it.
spitting the tar or
None of
having a
it.
frill and stuff. However, there is evidence based on teeth, Dilophosaurus teeth. There has been evidence that it may have potentially been venomous.
You're full of shit.
No, there's
So did that come out? Did that come out like prior to the Jurassic Park film, or like later?
This is something
Later.
that was found maybe like just a few years ago.
So you telling me we're gonna vindicate like Steven Spielberg, like retroactively, potentially?
The whole thing about
I know
that,
spitting it is different from just having venom, but
Yeah.
I mean, it is kind of interesting that he sort of like, because again, he pulled that out of his ass and then ended up being right. You should make it, if that's true, Steven Spielberg should be the king of all paleontology. If that turns out to be correct, I posit Steven Spielberg should become the leader of the entire discipline, the entire academic discipline. Fucking fire everybody, make him the boss of all the museums, put him in charge of the Bone Zone, put him in charge of all the universities and everything, put him on every dig site. He's because he obviously he's tuned into the past. If he called that, that's freaky. If he called that, that's what I'm saying. Make Steven Spielberg the god of paleontology at that point. Because how the fuck did he know? How did he know?
I've only seen one paper on it, and I don't even know if there has been any sort of rebuttal or any further evidence. So I'm just going off of memory right here. This is something that I'd say maybe like 5 years ago is when I read the paper saying that, oh, there's grooves in the teeth that may have been, for basically like venom channels, kind of, that you see in modern venomous animals.
It's a little groove that the venom slides down from a gland and it enters the bloodstream of the victim animal.
Basically.
You know who had those? My ex-wife.
Women.
My ex-wife, Harris. My ex-wife.
The
See,
one
Vinny can have her. Yeah, he can have the venom grooves in her teeth, and he can have that shit. That's fine. Not about that life. So, let me ask you a question. I got another question for you.
Yeah, sure.
That's wild. You ever fantasize about killing your father?
No, I'd say my father's a pretty good guy, all in all.
Not even a little bit? Not once?
No, not that I can recall.
Why not?
Listen, Mike. You're projecting right now. We all know how much you want to kill your dad.
I don't want to kill him. I'm not like a murderous, ravenous, bloodthirsty. I ain't seen no Oedipus complex shit going on here. What? What's that? Oh, right. Yeah. No, that's not cool. Are you shaving?
Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about it.
You trying to shave face?
Chat, you know what to do.
Admit you want to kill your own father. Admit it right now. Admit you want to kill your own fucking father now. Admit it. Stop this shit. We all know you do. It's fine. Everybody wants to on some level. It's normal. So just stop acting like you're above this and admit you want to fucking kill him. Admit you think about it every day.
Michael, you just said that you didn't want to kill your father and then said that everybody wants to.
We're not talking about me right now. Why do you want to kill him? And maybe we should get some help for this guy.
I plead the fifth.
What's that? Some kind of dinosaur thing? Dino law.
Yeah, fossil law.
What actually goes on with that? I didn't get a serious answer from you.
All right. Well,
You
fossil
said
law
something about
involves-
gnomes. What's fossil law? What is it?
I mean, fossil law generally involves, the rights to dig up fossils, how it differs country by country, whether or not you can actually export fossils outside of the country they originate from,
Oh.
who owns the fossils. For instance, unfortunately, a few years ago, there was a basically court ruling in the U.S. saying that, the basically whoever owns it was all sort of a case about like, okay, who owns the fossils? Is it the landowners or is it the people, like the public? Because it is something that there are instances in which even if something is found on your land, it doesn't necessarily belong to you. But no, fossils were ruled to be something that belongs to whoever the landowner is. It is considered to be like with gem and mineral rights in that sense. But that is something that actually has been pretty damaging to paleontology, just because it has led to a big surge in the fossil market.
That's fucking awesome, man. Fucking shit. You ever just think, anybody ever get sued over fossils? You ever get a fucking lawsuit over fucking
Oh, yeah.
fossils?
Oh yeah, no, there are lawsuits over fossils.
Fucked up.
Yep. Yeah, no, there have been lawsuits over fossils. There have been people thrown into prison over fossils.
Or fossil jail.
Yeah.
The bars are rib cages, right? Like,
Chat, you know what to do.
what are they gonna do?
I'll just let them do the -2s.
You're in dino
there we
jail.
go.
The jail is constructed of dinosaur bones. It's awesome. This is a fun place to go to jail.
Yeah, it's a bit like Sweden in that sense.
Yeah. So you got two guys. They're fighting over bones, and the one guy's like, "No, they're my bones." Because let's say it's a farmer in Montana, right? And he's out there in his field, and he's like, putting corn up his ass. He's putting corn in his ass, whatever they do out there, and digging up to harvest, and he finds some bones, right? And he pulls them up, and he says, "I'm gonna get money for them bones there." You pay him, right? The fucking museum pays the guy. You pay him or what? What happens?
It depends. Oftentimes we try to work with landowners where, museums and paleontologists as a whole do not have a lot of money. It's hard
Right.
for us to compete with the commercial fossil market.
Sure.
So, I mean,
Which
the
is
whole
something we
thing
should
about-
talk about later.
Yeah. So basically, what I mentioned before about naming the new species after the landowners, that's kind of one of the only things that we have to offer outside, climate change, is that like, okay, yeah, if you let us, if you essentially donate fossils on your land to science, if something ends up being new, then, we'll name it after you if you want to.
You're gonna go into his property and dig up all his shit, probably fucking wreck his septic tank and everything, and leave the place, regardless of how many bones you find down there, and then just leave the damn place. I feel like if it were me, I'd be like, all right, you want to come in here, you want to start digging around, looking for bones, you're gonna have to pony up, bitches. In fact, for every bone you pull out of here, it's gonna be $100. No, 1,000. Fuck it, 1,000,000. What if they only find like one bone, right? Probably say $1 million a bone. And then that's why this is why they sue each other, because they're like, no, those were my bones. This doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't understand why people are suing each other. I don't understand why that's happening.
I mean, one reason is that there are actually legitimate times in which a fossil skeleton is found, and it actually is found in crossing the border from one person's property to another.
Oh my god, it's like the tree thing It's like your
Yeah.
tree's growing on my property type shit.
That,
But it's a fucking
yeah,
dinosaur
or
skeleton.
yeah, I mean that is something that has happened. There also have been cases in which people are disputing ownership of the bone, because I'll tell you that the museum that I've worked for, we have contracts with the landowners that we work with, and it involves partial ownership. To the museum, and it's like, okay, who gets merchandising rights to anything that may be found of significance? What happens if we end up loaning the fossils that are found to another museum, and we end up getting some money from it.
What do you mean merchandising rights for bones? What is that? What does that mean?
Well, it's like, okay, there are, if a fossil is found and it ends up being a particularly famous fossil for one reason or another, there may be merchandise made of it. I know that, or even just like individual bones, I know that some museums will make like little replicas of specific bones that have been found out there and sell those.
So then if they find the bones on my land and the museum sells little fucking replicas of the bones in the gift shop, I get a cut. I get a merchandising fee because they sold bones based on, but I didn't fucking do anything. That thing died under my house, 150 million years ago. Why should I get fucking merchandising?
Well, I mean, at the same time, it's sort of part of the way that we're able to fight against the incredibly tempting, money that you could get from selling them to commercial fossil sellers.
Now, this is the guy who sold Nicolas Cage a full T-Rex skeleton or skull. Was it skull?
Now, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. No, if I remember correctly, that came from like Mongolia or something, and he sent it back there.
But that wasn't an example of the commercial fossil market. That wasn't it.
Well, no, that was an example of the commercial fossil market, but that's more like that more involves international fossil law, which is a whole different beast. Like every country has its own fossil laws and stuff, and it can be very complicated when you're talking about shipping fossils from one country to another. Some countries like basically don't really allow that at all. Any fossils that are found in the country must stay in the country. Others, it's like, okay, if you end up finding fossils in our country, if you are from outside the country, any papers that are written need to include like a scientist from our country, that type of deal. So there is all sorts of different fossil law going on, and there is like a fossil black market out there and stuff.
Right. So you have two choices, right? As a paleontologist, you can go the the lawful good route, where you go on dig sites. You've been on dig sites, right?
Yeah, I've led digs.
I want to get into that in a minute, but go on dig sites. You get bones, and you could be like, the type of person who, like, I don't know, turns his homework in early, or whatever, and tattles on his classmates for cheating. And you bring the bones in and be like, here they are, we got them. And then they just go in a case, and everybody, and fucking morons who have no idea what they're looking at, fucking Amish people, come in and look and stare at it slack-jawed before they forget 5 minutes later. Or, you know where I'm going with this, you take the bones and you sell them on the dark web. And you make them bone bucks. You make them big bone bucks. You could do that. You could theoretically do that. Why aren't you doing that?
I mean, because I value, their scientific value, essentially.
That's pathetic.
Exactly the thing that you described is a major problem that we're having to deal with right now, because anything that is sold commercially needs to, with very rare exception, but generally if it's sold commercially at all, it needs to be blacklisted by scientists, not only because sometimes the owners of like private fossil collections try to charge paleontologists like 5-digit figures just to study these bones, which we don't have. Or there's also the possibility that either the person who dug it up, or the person who prepared the bones or something may have forged unique features to make it seem more valuable. And sometimes these features can be difficult even for professionals to suss out. Without,
He
without
said
doing
sus.
something like, yeah, I said sus, without doing things like destructive research, which is something that, I imagine a lot of these private collectors would
You
not
never
allow.
been tempted to just kind of pilfer, like skim a little bone off the top and just kind of, just sort of like sell it on the down low? You've never even thought about that? You've never felt the temptation to do that?
No, never. I never. And that part of the reason is because I do know of people who have gone that route and have gone to prison for it.
It's not going to happen to you
Yeah, why not?
because you're smart. Smarter than that. No, you're not going to jail. You're not going to dino jail. You're different. You really know people that went to prison for that?
I don't. Well, I don't know them personally, but I do have
You're
sort
aware
of
of
like
them.
connections. Yeah,
Wow, that's
yeah.
fucking
No.
crazy.
So the museum that I was in charge of, I won't get into specifics because supposedly this guy is very litigious.
Oh,
But one of the
dino law.
former directors of the museum ended up getting thrown in prison for that very reason. He was stealing fossils, and there was a whole the FBI got involved in stuff, and it it actually
Those are the
was.
federal bone inspectors, right?
Yes, but it was something that was very, very tragic, and a lot of an entire community was basically torn apart by this guy just because people really trusted him and they stood up for him, only to find out that you know he was stealing and selling fossils behind their back.
It's really fucked up. It's really fucked up. You should do it a little bit. We could split the money. It's me. It's me. Look at me. It's me. We'll get away with it. I know people.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll get away. Don't worry
Yep.
about it. Don't worry about it. We'll fucking make it happen. I'm Italian American. Trust me. I can make it all go away.
hmm
We'll split it 50-50. We'll split the money. We'll split it. We'll split it. How much you think you could get for a bone? How much you think you could get for like a brontosaurus thigh? Femur. How much you think you get for a femur?
I mean, it also depends on just how what the condition is, but generally something like that would probably go for thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars. I'd say at this point it's like every other week I see news articles about another
Okay.
full skeleton that was sold on auction for like $40 million, and
Right. So we finally got the answer to the question I asked earlier. We finally came full circle. I have it. Now I understand why he got into paleontology. And yeah, Harris, I know. You're not stealing the bones and selling them. I know you're not, buddy. I know you're not, you slick little fucker, you. Hey, where's all the gift subs with your $40 million brontosaurus fucking money, bro? Where's all the gift subs? I've never seen you gift a single sub, you stingy fuck. You're sitting over there on 40 million, swimming in it like Scrooge McDuck in your fucking dino bone money. I don't get a single fucking gift sub. You believe this guy? Not one?
I remember having gifted at least one gift sub to you, and that was when we were trying to get, what was it, the Dunkachino Pog as an emote.
Do we still have that emote? I don't even know. No?
Like you asked chat to give like 100 subs or something like that, and I contributed to that.
All right. So no. Let's not fuck around here. In the professional sense, Harris is spotless. Harris is a good lad. He believes in the science. He believes in the knowledge for knowledge's sake. He believes in the community of paleontology, and he believes in the wealth that comes from learning. So fucking, you could have had $40 million, bro.
Yeah, I could, but I'd rather this is something that's sort of like a hardline moral for me, just because I know about how damaging it is. I mean,
Could have just
there
took
are
a couple toes. A couple toes would have just been like, I don't know, like 100 grand. Couple pronto toes.
it's my belief that every fossil has its own story to tell, just because of the different lives that are
Yeah.
lived in, the different ways that they're preserved. Sometimes they preserve things in ways that you don't really find in other fossils. But one thing that I think about a lot is just the fact that fossils are finite. There's going to come a
Right.
day, hopefully long after I'm dead, when
yeah.
all of the dinosaur fossils have been dug out of the ground, and so everything that we have available to us at that point, that's our
Are you
data set
dying?
to learn. No, not. I mean, I was recently diagnosed with a mild inguinal hernia, but I don't think that's going to kill me.
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. You're gonna die? Why would you bring that up? Why would you bring up death while we're talking about bones? Why would you do that? You're really bringing the mood down here. Every fossil has a story to tell. And here's the story. Private jet, rooftop, penthouse in Midtown with a hot tub and a fully staffed bar. A parking garage full of Lambos. And all the dino nuggies that a man can eat. That's the dream. That's the story. That's the story I'm hearing. I'm kidding. I've tried everything to crack him. He is completely unmovable. He's completely uncrackable. He's uncrackable. What is the first thing you do with $40 million, Harris? What do you do with $40
I'd say
million?
first thing I do with $40 million is I'd look into buying some ranch land so I can dig up more fossils.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, field season's the best part of the year for me. Like, I absolutely love going out into the field and looking for more fossils. I mean, I've been doing this thing for 10 years and it never gets old.
So what's the dig season? When is that?
It's summertime. Not only, is it hard to dig in the other seasons just because, the ground may be like frozen, especially in the northern U.S. where a lot of these bones are found. You got, snow
Canada,
on the ground.
Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba,
Yeah,
British
that
Columbia,
too.
Yukon Territory, Nunavut
like
Territory,
70 years.
Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, Ontario, Quebec, Newfoundland, and Labrador. Labrador and Newfoundland are the same province. That's all of them. Am I right?
You were very convincing as you were reading off that list, Michael.
You think I was? I'll kill you. I'll kill you. How dare you suggest that? Did I forget any? Did chat say I forgot any?
They're saying Heck W.
I said Nova Scotia, right?
Oh, you forgot New Jersey.
I believe you said Nova Scotia.
Who said New Jersey? Time him out. The fucking season has just ended. So, did you go anywhere this summer? Did you get any?
Yeah,
go on
no,
any digs?
I actually spent a week. I wish I could have spent more time, but I spent a week back in June in northern Montana. We
cool.
went out to this new plot of land. It was
Is that the
something
Burgess
that-
Shale deposit?
No, it's part of the Judith River Formation.
Oh, I thought I was like flexing over here, and I just look like a fucking asshole. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So, Judith River stuff is about like 77 million years old. And this was, land that had never really been looked at by paleontologists before. I was approached by a guy when I was working at the museum last summer, and he said, "Hey, I know a guy who has some land that I think may have fossils on it." So we sort of got that all sorted out. We got a contract with the guy because I did a little bit of prospecting last year, and I found it was very promising. And so we did a full dig out there this summer, and it was the most fossil-rich land I've seen in like the last decade. There was stuff all over the place.
And you're the first person to have even looked at it.
Yeah.
You and your team. You have people. Do you have people working under you?
So basically, I mean, this year when I was out there, I did have some people who I was working with. I was the official lead of the dig, but there were other people who, were in paleontology along with me. But generally, what we do is we have dig programs where, since museums need money and we do not make a lot of money, one way we do make money is that we offer like, hey, if you're able to pay if you're willing to pay us $1,000, then you can go on a dinosaur dig with our paleontologist. And people,
So you just have random assholes joining up.
Volunteers that we sort of teach about how
I'm coming.
digs work.
I'm coming.
Like
I'm coming next summer. You ready for this? You ready for this to come?
About a month ago, I sent you an email like explaining this. I said
don't
like,
read
hey,
emails.
you ever want to? Yeah. Well,
Here's your first mistake.
But yeah, no. If I've said straight out like, hey man, I think it'd be a great. I think you'd absolutely love it.
Maybe we can make content with this.
The issue. One thing I said in my email is that it would be hard to stream it just because like service out in the middle of the Badlands is usually
the Badlands.
Yeah, bad.
That's
chug in the world.
Huh? That's a fun word, Badlands.
But another reason is because we try not to we gotta be careful about sort of like anything that goes onto social media just because fossil poachers are an issue. There are like basically geoguesser pros out there who find pictures on Facebook and are able to, from the just generic looking hills on the background, they're able to pinpoint the exact location and they end up stealing the bones.
That's some fucking what's his name shit. That guy. No, not him. The other guy. The guy who plays GeoGuessr. The guy with the who he finds the things.
Yeah.
And Rainbolt. His name's Rainbolt.
That's what I just said.
That's not what you said, asshole. You said Rainbow. Who the fuck is Rainbow? No, his name's Rainbolt. Rainbolt. Clean the fucking cum out of your ears.
Okay, I'll try and enunciate my T's more carefully from now on.
Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. You went out to northern Montana, and you went and prospected last year. And what do you look for during the prospecting? Do you go panhandling?
No. So basically, it's very complicated.
Do you ever bite a bone to see if it's real? You ever do that? Like, you know how they do that, the prospectors?
This is another instance in which you're trying to be a penis, but I'm going to be like, no, actually, because
I'm not trying to be a penis. I am a penis.
Just are one?
Sorry, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean So what do you actually look for?
So, well, I mean, first of all, the whole biting the bone thing, we don't bite the bones, but one thing a lot of people who are just trying to get into paleontology or are very early beginners and stuff, it can be hard for them to differentiate between rock and bone. And so what we tell them is lick them.
Seriously? Why? Was it salty? The bones are salty.
Yeah. The thing is that bones are porous, and so there will be like a bit of suction. Your tongue will stick to them a bit.
I'm coming out there next summer. I'm coming on a dig with you, and I'm going to lick all the bones.
Hey man, I'd be all for it. And like I said, even if you aren't able to stream it, I think that it would be you could do a stream afterwards where you tell Chad all about it. And I think it'd be great.
We'll record some of it. Right? Yeah, we'll record some of it.
Make sure not to get too much of the horizon. Don't want any rain bolts to.
Well, isn't it all? It's all closed off now. You can't just have anybody wander into that shit, right? You can't just have anybody go in there and it's like somebody owns this property, right? You said.
Yeah, but these people own several square miles of land. It's not like they can,
That makes sense.
patrol them all hours of every day. Like, yeah, no.
The
So,
auto turrets
yeah,
and
yep.
dogs, violent,
But,
angry dogs
yeah.
to patrol the
But
perimeter.
as for the dig that I was on this summer, it was the most fossil-rich land I've seen in probably about 10 years. I'd say over the course of the week, we found evidence of maybe about 10 different fossil species.
Well, which ones?
Five of which were dinosaur. Well, I mean, just because it was, I can only go into sort of like generic sense. We don't have things down at a species level just because it was still very early. But there was hadrosaur, ankylosaur, tyrannosaur, dromaeosaur. Let's see. There was something that may have been Alvarezsaur, but may have actually just been a turtle claw. Alvarezsaur claws and turtle claws are weirdly similar. But possible ornithomimid stuff. We also found crocodilian. We found fish stuff. Let's see. I think I found a single skate tooth, which are kind of like stingrays.
Yep.
Yeah, there was a whole
Stingrays
lot.
on wheels. Skate.
Chat.
So you found a ton of shit. And you can't say definitively you found any of those things, but you're saying you found evidence potentially some of those things are there.
Well, no, it's not that we can't say that we definitively found them because we it's just that we can't specify down to like the species level or even the genus level.
You said a lot of my favorite dinosaurs in there, man. That's awesome. That's really genuinely fucking
And
incredible.
believe it or not, a lot of those were found in a like sort of single spot that we found on the last day of the dig. One thing that is
99% of fossil hunters turn around and go home before they hit it big. Is that right?
One thing I always say is that the best finds always happen on the last day of the dig, no matter
Really?
what, and it's something that proves true again and again.
funny.
Yeah, it was actually one of our volunteers. I think it was like this 12-year-old girl who she and her dad ended up finding this site, and we found like in this very small area like evidence of 5 different dinosaur species.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it was the big find, and that site that they found has the potential to keep us busy, possibly for several years, if not the next decade.
Amazing.
It has so much potential.
If I was that 12-year-old girl, I would never shut the fuck up about that. I'd be always bragging about that. Be very narcissistic about that. That's awesome. Is she like that? Is she like a little bitch about it? She's like, shut up.
Yeah, me and the other guys, me and the other paleontologists were like, with this girl, like throughout the week, she seemed very not only skilled at finding fossils, but very interested in it. And we were all sort of like secretly hoping that like she'd end up falling in love with paleontology in this and end up becoming a paleontologist because we thought that she had a lot of potential to be a good field paleontologist.
You know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like she made you all look bad. Got a bunch of grown men who are supposed to know about dinosaurs don't find dick for a week, and then a 12-year-old girl finds the treasure trove of all these like 15 different dinosaurs, and you guys are like, dirt. That's gotta fucking sting, man.
I mean, we know that like a lot of it is, okay. First of all, we did find some stuff. I mean, we didn't
Coke.
find
That's
nearly
coke.
as much. Yeah, no, it is coke, but yeah. But frankly, I mean, a lot of it is just, at the end of the day, it's luck. I mean, what we do is we just go out into the middle of the Badlands, we keep our eyes to the ground, and we just walk until we see bone. And I think a big thing that a lot of people don't realize is that, like, oh, that sounds easy, but the big issue is just being able to differentiate rock from bone, because you're not going to find like perfectly,
Start licking, boy.
perfectly shaped bones, on the ground. What you generally find are just little fragments, and you need to follow those fragments upstream to their source, like a little trail of bone breadcrumbs, and find the source of where they all came from.
That's cool as shit. You're like a detective of penis.
Yeah, of penis, yes. I will say that it can be frustrating just because it's like, 80 to 90% of the time you're following one of these trails and it'll just go cold and you'll have no idea
That sucks.
where the source is. But, when you do find something, something significant out there, I'd say even after 10 years, like it puts a spring in my step and a song in my heart every single time. It just makes the whole day brighter. It never gets old. It's just a wonderful feeling. Nothing like it in the world.
That's really heartwarming and touching and all that. But I have a really important question for you about this thing, this dig. You were there for a week?
Yeah.
Right. So who the fuck covered your shift? Like you didn't watch my stream for an entire week?
I believe this is before you started demanding people cover our shifts.
That doesn't like retroactively excuse the fact that you weren't there. So, I mean, I don't know what. So you're telling me you weren't watching my stream for a fucking week? I'm just supposed to be like, oh yeah, that's cool. Is that what you thought would happen? Is that how you saw that playing out here? Is that how you saw that playing out?
Nobody covered your shift when you took a week-long vacation a couple months ago.
That's never happened. I got another question for you. You know what? Maybe next time we will do that. Bun time. Do you want to cover my shift next time I take a break
Yeah, I'll do it.
from streaming?
Yeah. We'll come back to half your followers.
What do you guys think of that? Would you like to see that, chat? I haven't seen chat this whole stream. I'm too busy chatting with Harris. Oh, there's chat. Yes, Bunty time. Week of Bunty. She basically did. Oh, you did, didn't you? Harris, entertain me. I thought that was a penis. Did you also think that was a penis? Did you also think it's...
What? Okay, so I was talking to a guy at a bar a couple weeks ago, and I was showing him pictures of fossils that, from the very trip that I was just telling you about, and this guy was very drunk, and every time my hand was in the picture, he thought I was showing him a dick pic.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, that's but
very generous.
You can't really blame anybody for thinking it's gonna get weird. Can you do me a favor? Can you take your fucking crotch out of the camera the frame of the camera, please? Can you just take your? Can you just like maybe slide down a little bit? Maybe just okay. That works too.
I was just getting comfortable.
So, what if it's true? Hypothetically, what if it's true that this whole thing is a scam, right? Like what if all the bones you're finding are fake, and they're all made in China, to make people hate Jesus, and all that, right? What if that all turns out to be true? What is your next move there?
At that point, I'd probably just kill myself because nothing in the world makes sense at that point.
What would have to be true for that to happen? So the bones would have to be manufactured in China, brought to places like, the U.S. and Canada. Well, in other areas, we know that there's, they find fossils everywhere.
World.
Right.
Yeah, they're finding fossils dinosaur fossils in the Arctic nowadays.
Well, I heard Antarctica is like, dude, when that shit melts, it's going to be rough for everybody. I think paleontologists are going to have a great time though, because there's land under there. Like they know that that continent was loaded with dinosaurs, right?
Yeah. No, it used to be like tropical.
Right.
And yeah, we're already starting to find especially in the last decade or so in Arctic, and I can't remember if Antarctic. I believe Antarctic as well. Yeah.
Are you saying Antarctic?
Yes, Antarctic.
Yeah, man, Antarctica. There's an A at the end, no?
Oh, I thought you were, not hearing me enunciate the T's again. But
so you're just putting more, so you put more focus on the T's and put none on the A's. Then is what you.
Yeah, that's my bad. That's my bad, Chief.
Okay. So they're finding fossils in Antarctica. And again, all you can really do is just kind of chip around the edges of the whole fucking place. But if you get under the ice sheet, There's probably it's probably a fossil city down there. It's probably insane. No?
I'd say that like the ice has probably done a good deal of damage to the fossils.
You think it's probably not one of those places where anything was preserved very well. It's probably fucked.
I mean, I would say that there very well may be like a good deal of stuff down there, but it's going to be in very poor condition.
That's sad. I'm gonna cry. You ever cry
Do it.
over dinosaurs? You ever have a dinosaur like situation like make you so sad you actually shed tears?
I wouldn't say sad, but I'd say that the first time I went to the Salt Lake City Natural History Museum, I had a couple beers in me at that point, and I started getting teary just at like how beautiful the museum was, just because it was. I mean, at the time, it was the best looking museum I've like. It struck the perfect balance between sort of being educational and being interactive, where not too dry in how it presents the information, but not too gimmicky. So I just thought it struck the perfect balance between the two to make visitors want to learn more, and that got me a bit teary.
For me, it was the finale of the Dinosaurs TV show. You've seen that, right? It's really sad.
I already told you that I only watched things where dinosaurs ate people as a kid, but I do know how that series ended, and yeah, it's incredibly depressing.
No, I think they eat people.
It's also very wrong, but
it's fucking. Well, it's not meant to be. Well, it isn't purporting to be accurate in any capacity, unlike Steven Spielberg. Well, is he? I mean, I don't know. But so you answer my question. What happens? Right, so they manufacture the bones, they get them over here, and then they like dig them real fucking deep into the earth, and then make it look like they were there already, to just like, and they're only doing it to like fuck you up, like specifically you, right? They're only doing it to like, just kind of get in your head and like mind fuck you, you know. They're only doing it to like that's messed up, right? Like, how do you react? I mean, you said kill yourself, but like, no, realistically, like, what? Do you think that's possible? Do you think that's feasible for that to be the case?
Oh, definitely not. They would have to have brought in like tons of, massive construction machinery to, get underneath the rock and dirt that we find some of this stuff in.
Yeah, you don't think that's possible? I mean, through Christ, all things are possible.
Yeah, I mean, fair.
And I mean, have you seen, the construction projects they have going on in China, man? They could absolutely swing some shit like that. Easy. Right? They've got the machinery. They've got the manpower. Right? They've got the will. They've got the resources. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they do that just to gaslight the fuck out of you for no reason? I mean, no, there is a reason. It's funny. Right? It's funny. It would be funny if that happened, right? So
at that point, barring me killing myself, I'd wonder how much the Chinese paleontologists out there know about this, if at all. Like, are they in on it, or are they being duped just like the rest of us? Because believe it or not, I mean, China is probably along with the U.S., China is one of the best places in the world for fossils. Like, you find tons of them there. Very different fossils from what you find in the U.S.
I knew that. You want to know how I knew that? From the Jurassic World Evolution video game. Has all the dig sites out there.
Yeah, no, there is a lot of going on in Chinese paleontology. They have the things that you find in China tend to be much smaller in size than what you find out here, but much more intricately preserved. Like, you get a lot.
They got some good preservation going on out there, huh?
Yeah, and it's also you find a lot of like preserved feathers out there, and stuff. I mean, a lot of what we know about the feathers on some theropod dinosaurs comes out of China.
Not looking good for the Steven Spielbergoids who want the dinosaurs to be plucked. Right? Not looking good.
We literally have a theropod tail preserved in amber that is covered in feathers.
Yeah, you straight up seen the feathers. It's not even a fossil of feathers. They're just there.
And we actually
Yeah.
know we've gotten
Like it's
to a
game
point
over.
where
There's no. This is done. There's no debate about this anymore. These fuckers had feathers.
not only that, but one thing a lot of people don't know is that we are at the point in time now where we're able to, like, if we find preserved feathers, we're able to come up with color reconstructions of the dinosaurs. So we know what colors some dinosaurs were.
Well, give me some wild examples.
All right, well, some examples are Sinosauropteryx. That is like a small theropod dinosaur. And it
Hey, wait a
was,
minute. Is that the one in the Jurassic World Evolution? It's like a little. It was like a little ferret. Now you watch those streams, right?
yeah. Yeah, and I believe that they got the color reconstruction accurate there, if I'm remembering
It almost
correctly.
had like lemur colors on it. Like it looked like a little lemur.
Yeah, it's got the rings on the tail.
Yeah. That's the one. I love those little guys. Are so cute.
Yeah, and that is accurate color reconstruction. Just because
And that's found in. Was one of the ones from China. It's in the name, isn't it? Sino. Right.
I actually can't remember if that one was found in China, but one that was found in China that I do know that they've got, like, at this point they've got hundreds of fossils of is Anchiornis, which it looks a lot like maybe like a modern road runner or something, but it was a very black with some white feathers, but it also had a like sort of red crest on its head, and there have been conflicting reports on whether or not it had red cheeks, like red Pikachu cheeks, essentially. I heard that there was recently somebody who did a study on it and was able to resolve that discrepancy. But this was just through a friend. I don't know what the answer was, but I'm hoping that it's a sort of sexual dimorphism thing, just because I'm very interested in sexual dimorphism in dinosaurs. But there's, I'd say, like maybe about 10 or so dinosaur species at this point that we have color reconstructions for.
That's fun. How did dinosaurs fuck? Because something's not adding up.
Carefully.
Dude. Really?
I was hoping you would ask that question.
Well, you seen the meme, right? That we look at, that I put on stream a bunch of times, where it's like, you can't just have a triceratops mount the female because, like, the tail's in the way. So what do they have, like, long hose dicks? Seriously. It's one of those things that actually it gives legitimacy to the people saying that dinosaurs aren't real. Because I can't see these things. I can't visualize them making that work. I can't genuinely, like, logistically see that. So
okay, well, in a similar vein, think about, like, okay, yeah, there's gonna be tails in the way if, like, crocodiles were having sex or something.
No,
they don't have tails.
well, they probably do it missionary, man. It's not going to get in the way if they're doing it missionary. Crocodiles doing it missionary style. That's how they do it. I'm sure that's how they do it.
I don't know.
But dinosaurs, you kind of can't see. Like, I feel Triceratops having missionary position would not make sense. Like, I'm trying to replicate this here. Well, that's not really a stegosaurus. Let me find another stegosaurus in here. Here we go. Wait, no, that's like a triceratops. Buntime, can you help me figure out which dinosaur is which?
You don't really do that, do you? You want me to come over there and help you find your dinosaurs?
One time you forgot to press the Minecraft eating sound button just then.
The what, dog?
Nothing. Forget about it. But to answer your question, one thing that I have seen as a potential method is that they may have. I mean, this wouldn't account for some of the issues involving spikes and stuff, but that would be a whole nother question. But I do have seen some people posit that maybe they came at it from like a 45-degree angle, like Slip
No,
the
that's
dick in
cope.
between,
That's
between the
cope.
tail and hind leg.
That's cope. It's all fucking fake bones from China. They're manufactured in China. There's no way these things had sex. It doesn't make any sense. Are you listening to yourself right now, dog? You're saying that their penis is coming in at a 45-degree angle? You sound like an insane person. Why are we looking at hypotenuse
Not-
triangles for dinosaur sex?
Not
What
the,
is that?
Not the penis coming from a 45-degree angle. It's just like, okay, it's not like the male is standing directly behind the female or, to the side. It's like somewhere between. It's all about like where one is standing in relation to the other.
Does that make any sense to you, what he's saying? Or does that sounds fucking stupid? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm having a really hard time visualizing this.
The two dinosaurs standing next
Come over here. Come do it on camera, please, because I'm not.
to
Yeah.
why you want me up here so bad.
Just show me what you're talking about.
So you have the two dinosaurs standing next to each other.
Yep.
And then you have the two dinosaurs, one behind another.
Yep.
He's talking about one dinosaur's over here.
All right. Show me on me. Okay, like pretend you're the man dinosaur and I'm the lady dinosaur and fuck my ass.
I'm gonna go sit down.
Where are you going? I'm trying to. I don't understand. If I don't understand it, fucking chat doesn't understand it. So fuck my ass. What are you laughing at? Do it.
I can't.
What's funny right now? I'm trying to. Fuck my ass. What is this shit? Why are you laughing? Fuck my ass. God damn it.
I'm laughing because I'm uncomfortable. So you
Fuck
don't-
my ass. No.
So you'd be standing like right here, and then you would.
I get on all fours.
Is that about right? I can't hear you. It's like not yes or no.
Mike's got to get on all fours for this demonstration to really work.
He said I got to get on all fours for the demonstration
Oh, okay.
to work. So.
Yeah, get on all fours. And then I'd be over here.
I don't feel anything. It's not working.
I'm gonna go sit down. I'm not gonna fuck you live on.
I don't feel it. It's not working. All right, I still don't understand this, but that's okay. Maybe I'm not meant to understand everything in this life. Maybe there's some things that are better off remaining mysteries. Have they ever found fossils of the dinosaurs in like mid-coitus? Have they ever found that? I know they've sometimes found fossils of the dinosaurs fighting. Have they ever found them making peace and not war, making love and not war? Have they ever found that?
Not to my knowledge, but we do have one dinosaur in which it was so well preserved that they were able to find its cloaca that was still preserved. So dinosaur genitalia has been preserved, found in fossils.
They found the cloak,
Yep, they found
despite
it.
the cloaking technology. It wasn't cloaked. It wasn't cloaked. It wasn't cloaked up.
Yeah, I would say like if you're able to find the paper about it's. I found the paper that was written about it very funny. It to me, I just reading it, it felt like they were trying to come up with the most like visceral imagery possible, and they were going into detail where it's like, okay, these guys are like having a giggle.
They were having a
As
little
they're-
bit of a giggle.
Yeah.
Why? What were they
Little bit-
saying in there? They were like being very sexually explicit.
Basically, yeah.
Maybe that was the only way to divulge the knowledge. Maybe that was the only way to.
Yeah, it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible. I think that I may have taken some quotes from it when I sent you that prehistoric smasher pass that you ended up doing on stream a couple of years ago.
I remember that. That was disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. They got any evidence for gay dinosaurs? Ever see anything in the fossil record about gay dinosaurs? We know we've got a lot of gay viewers that. What are you doing? Why are you doing that? That's really upsetting, man. Why are you? No one wants to see that shit. Come on, put that away.
All right, so not to my knowledge, but I mean, of course, it's hard to sort of find behavior. I mean, it is something that normally you find dinosaurs by themselves. So it generally things like behavior. We
Incels.
interpret. Oftentimes, we learn about behavior through trace fossils as opposed to actual body fossils.
They got them
And
lonely dinos. Not they're not scoring, not getting laid, just lonely, striking out. They're not like you don't often you're saying find pairs of dinosaurs. They weren't like monogamous like that.
well, it's not that. It's just that usually things don't die in pairs.
Okay.
Sometimes they do, but
Yeah.
not often.
Well, you ever get weird with the bones? You ever I mean, besides licking them vigorously, you ever get weird with them? You ever get freaky in the museum? You ever get freaky in the museum?
I mean, frankly, if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be with a theropod bone because they're hollow.
It's really a really upsetting thing you said. Really upsetting. Can't believe you said that. Why would you say that?
Because you asked. That's all I can really say.
Why, in your opinion, why should people care about dinosaurs? Why do you think it's important that people care about the history of this planet, the history of life on this planet? Why do you think that matters for humanity? Why do you think that matters going forward as, a race for us? Why is that important to you? In your words, in your thoughts, why does that matter? Why should everybody watching this right now give a fuck about these creatures, these long dead creatures?
Dinosaurs are cool. End of statement.
You've probably heard me say this before, but if somebody doesn't have like a healthy amount of curiosity about dinosaurs, that feels like a massive red flag for me. Just about them as a person. I've explained this on stream before. It's like I tell you, there's literal fucking monsters stomping around the size of buses and buildings. Okay, going fucking ape shit, to eating each other, beating the shit out of each other. Okay, in like a savage fight for survival. And this is going on for millions of years. There's millions of different species of them, right? And you're just like, whatever. What I don't care. What is it? That's like boring to me that there was actual monsters running around where I'm standing right now and their bones are in the fucking earth. You find that boring? That's weird, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. Because I mean, something sort of similar to this just came up in conversation yesterday. There's a sort of recently a dinosaur that recently had a lot more material found called Spicomelis, and it is an ankylosaur. And the point of the conversation is that it looks a lot like was it Anguirus from Godzilla?
Which one is that? I don't remember that one.
It's the one that looks like it's got spikes on its back. It looks like an ankylosaur kind of. An ankylosaur crossed with Sonic the Hedgehog or something.
Is it the one that's like an armadillo type fucking asshole?
Yeah, armadillo.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like these are basically monsters that were roaming around once upon a time, and it's incredibly interesting. And I feel like we are sort of right now experiencing something of a new paleontology renaissance in that we are sort of getting to a point where we're figuring out whole new ways to learn different things. Like, what I was saying with the colors, the color reconstruction, and we've been paleontologists have been finding lately lot, like a weirdly large number of just exquisitely preserved fossils that we
Just getting better at digging them up, getting better at finding them, getting better at both.
I'd say probably getting better at being able to recognize important things that need to be preserved, like soft tissue, skin and feathers and all that. And because of that, we're starting to learn more and more about, the things other than the bones. We're learning about, the organs and the brains and the muscles and the skin.
Penis.
And all that can give us information that, sort of just spirals outwards. I mean, things that we learn about their body can also inform us about, their environment and their way of life and vice versa. So we can learn a whole lot about, you'd be surprised at, how much you can learn about, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just how far, a single piece of knowledge can take you, essentially.
Would I be surprised by that, really? Would I be surprised? Think I'd be surprised by that? You don't know what surprises me. You don't know anything about me, motherfucker. Okay? You don't know what's going to surprise me.
So we might as well. I mean, we got this whole screen share thing set up. Might as well use it.
Before you do that, I was wondering. Fuck! What was I wondering? Did you ever find any turquoise dinosaurs? Do they have any turquoise? I like turquoise.
That actually sort of kind of connects to what I was about to screen share.
I love I love saying turquoise. Say turquoise.
Turquoise.
Is that how you actually pronounce it, though?
No, I pronounce it turquoise.
Yeah. What's up with people pronouncing it turquoise? It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, only absolute insane people, insane bald people would do it like that.
No, I didn't come up with that shit. I've heard it before. So, in other words, what you're saying is, not only do we need to make Steven Spielberg the absolute father of paleontology, but we also need to make the Godzilla people, because they've both displayed a similar degree of like prescience in guessing dinosaurs, like predicting what dinosaurs will be found. Is that fair to say that?
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Do you want a nuggie?
Oh, I'd love a nuggie.
Go ahead, help yourself. I can't hear him chewing. Why can't I hear him chewing? All right, we should probably retire the bit now. I think everybody gets it. We'll stop doing that now, okay? We'll move on. You know what else too? It's like I also feel this way about outer space. I don't know. Tell me how you feel about this, because I don't know how you feel about, astrology, astronomy, astrology, or astronomy. It's the similar red flag in the sense of like, I show you Jupiter and I tell you that whatever the fuck that is floating around in the sky really far away. Like right now, it's over there just being weird and big. And you're like, that's boring. I think that's the same red flag for me, actually.
Yeah, no. I mean, I feel like, being an astronaut is, one of the few occupations out there that is as much of a flex as paleontology. That and maybe like the people who, program water fountains to like fountains in fancy like outdoor malls to spray water in sync with music or something.
The Bellagio.
Yeah, basically, like those
Yeah.
people, them and astronauts.
Those are the only. So there's like in your mind, there's 3 careers that are like worth any accolade or like respect, and it's the people who program those water fountains, paleontologists, and astronauts.
Yes.
Okay, I respect that. No, I agree. What about streamers?
I mean,
It's a
So,
similar
what I
red
would-
flag, right? It's a similar type.
yeah,
of
being a
weird-
streamer is a similar red flag. Yes.
You know what to do. It's almost like this, and I see a lot of this. It's just incurious minds, incurious individuals that move through life not giving a fuck about anything, not asking questions, not wondering about anything, not caring. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine going through life like that, Harris?
Sounds like a miserable existence to me.
It's awesome. You got to try it. What did you want to show us on your little computer machine there?
Okay, so let me get this up.
What did you want to show us? Some kind of weird fetish images?
And always, but
Please, God, let it not be weird fetish images.
okay, so let me. All right. Okay, is it showing? Let's see.
Buntime, can you press the screen share button?
Yeah, it's not working. Let me press
You're gonna go to the other. You're gonna go to the other scene. Go.
it doesn't.
Go to the other scene,
I need to put it in OBS.
and now press. I already did that though.
It's not there
Why isn't it there?
because it was
Deleted?
stopped sharing for a second. See now?
Oh, that's shit. Okay. That looks like ass.
I'm seeing it on screen.
All right. So what is that, like a Bluetooth? That's the like the the wireless technology, the the Bluetooth.
Yep. So these look at that turquoise fossil.
That is turquoise. That's turquoise for sure. Was
These
that a fucking artichoke?
So all of these are actually some of my favorite fossils out there. These are known as the Lightning Ridge fossils.
Zoom in on that. Make that bigger. Not you, Buntime. Harris, make that. Zoom in on that. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yep. Good. What is that?
They're from Lightning Ridge in Australia, and these are fossils that have been opalized, so turned into opal.
Oh, that's fucking crazy. How does that happen?
It's just one of the many ways that fossils can potentially fossilize. And if I remember correctly, it has something to do with the minerals that end up replacing the organic material, and it has to do with water intrusion in the bone and stuff like that.
Wow.
And that's too far. So
Can you back that? Go back one.
yeah, this one.
Just go back 1 second. Go back one
Okay.
image. No, I feel like there was another one in there.
Okay, this one.
No, it was the one where it looked like the
This one.
No, it was the characters from
Okay.
Avatar, but they were
That one, yes.
like they were big mouth. Yeah, that. Can you make sure everybody sees that for like a good, maybe like 20 seconds to get them nice and pissed off at that?
Yeah, sure.
Because that really fucking sucks. You made that, right?
Yeah, I spent like a week making this.
You spent a week on that. You spent a week bringing something really fucking horrible into the world that really is going to upset a lot of people. I'm so proud of you, man. I think
Thank you.
That's so based. So a week of this man's life was put into this effort of making this. I think there's a lot of attention to detail. I actually feel a lot of love went into this.
Oh yeah, no, I wanted to make something like sacrilegious. Essentially, I went in wanting to make something blasphemous.
Yeah, this is going to make a lot of people really, really angry. I'm very.
Yeah, I wanted to ruin people's day with
You
this.
certainly ruined many, many, many days with this. No question. Good shit. Really good job.
Thank you. But yeah, lightning ridge fossils, like very amazing, unique fossils, and yeah, like we were saying, turquoise.
It's all turked up.
Turked up on a Saturday night.
It's all turked up. Oh, is that it?
I mean that's it for the lightning ridge fossils that I had. So yeah.
All right. Well, riddle me this, Harris. What if your cum was yogurt? Would you eat it?
Would it be filling?
It's just, I mean, do you find yogurt filling? Like, generally, do you like yogurt?
I enjoy yogurt.
Yeah, so if every time you nutted, it was like, I don't know, let's say plain Greek yogurt, would you just eat that, or would you just, like, throw it out? What do you think you'd do?
Not if it was plain Greek yogurt. Maybe if it was, like, vanilla yogurt at
Vanilla?
least.
All right, it's vanilla. Yeah, you'd eat it?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
There's granola. There's granola that comes out. It hurts when it comes out, though. It's quite painful. When it comes out, it hurts. It hurts a bit.
Several kidney stones at once.
Yeah, they're like little kidney stones. The granola hurts coming out. Would you eat it?
Well, I mean that would just like make the whole thing taste like blood, probably. So that just ruined the taste.
I don't think there's blood in there. I don't think it's blood. Maybe if you got like a weak urethra. I don't have that problem. Ask your mother.
So are you the father that you wanted me to kill all along?
Kill me, please! Son, kill me! Son, end my misery, son! End it! End my suffering! Kill me, my child!
Yeah.
You see,
okay.
what do you think it is? Why do you think I supported your career all these years, coaxed you down the right path? I was a guiding force in your life, a guiding hand that caused you to make the right choices. I was supportive, but firm when I had to be. Why do you think I was like that?
Hey, Mike.
You're my offspring.
I mean, you remember that one night in Spain, Mike?
Sí.
Did you ever think the kid
yo recuerdo.
Back for you, demanding child support?
Sí. ¿Tú eres Miguelito?
Sí.
Miguelito! Mi hijo!
Papa. Papa.
Cut the fucking feed. Cut the fucking feed. He's going to ask for child support. Cut the fucking feed. Pull the plug. Harris, I wanted to ask you about dig sites. I know we were talking about that a while ago, but I wrote this question down, and I didn't get to ask you before because I forgot, but now I want to ask you. I want to ask you this. How many dig sites have you been on?
Let's see. Well, I mean, I've been doing this every summer for the past 10 years or so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but sometimes you will, if you have multiple sites available, you'll spend maybe like just a few hours at one, a few at another. I mean, if they're close enough together. So I don't even know off the top of my head how many sites I've been to, but I can tell you that, yeah, I'd say there's only been, I think, 1 year where I didn't go like on a dig, and that's because I was interning at a dinosaur quarry, and that actually, you know what, I think this is good segue into an interesting story.
I don't.
Okay,
No.
never mind. I'll just go fuck myself then.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, probably for the best. Show us the thing. I'm being a dick. Please show us the thing, please.
No, it wasn't a thing I was going to show you. It was a story.
Oh, I thought you had. Yeah. Okay. So let's hear the story. I'm sorry.
All right. So, yeah, it was the only in the last 10 years, the only summer that I hadn't actually gone on dig is because I was too busy interning at the what was at the time known as the Cleveland Lloyd Dinosaur Quarry in
Was it
Utah.
Cleveland?
No, Utah.
Sorry.
Yeah, yes. But nowadays, it proud to be.
So you were interning at the quarry.
Yeah. And it was a slow day. We were out in the place now is known as Jurassic National Monument. It has managed to get national monument status, but back then, it's a place that's sort of out in the middle of nowhere, and it's like a 45-minute drive from civilization. So there were days where we'd get like 100 visitors, but also days that we would get no visitors. And I just one of the more surreal experiences I've had in paleontology is it was one of the slow days, so I was just sitting and reading a book. The book was something called My Beloved Brontosaurus, and it's just about sort of
Kinky.
the author going around the country learning more about modern paleontology and how coming to terms with how things have changed since they were a kid.
The title makes me think about the fact that the Brontosaurus controversy, where they were maybe speculating that it didn't exist for a while there.
Well,
that it was actually a previously discovered dinosaur, but like a different skeleton or something.
It's actually so the original. I mean, so the original thing that was named Brontosaurus was actually a Camarasaur skull that was put onto the body of a young Apatosaurus. They were found relatively close to each other, so the guy that found them thought, "Oh, these probably go together." Turns out they didn't.
It was the Caralis from Pokemon thing.
So the Caralis is based on that whole character, and those Pokemon are actually meant to be referencing paleontological chimeras, where people have made
they fuck it all up because they're stupid.
Stuff. Yeah, basically.
They go all like Sid from Toy Story on the dinosaur bones because they're stupid. Not because maybe because it's funny sometimes. Has anyone ever just done that to be funny? I would do that to be funny all the time. I'd be putting like a fucking, brontosaurus neck on a mosasaur and making it all. I'd get wacky with it. I'd have fun with it. They'd fire me instantly, right? They wouldn't probably. The museum would probably not enjoy that.
Yeah,
but I would.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, I very much believe you would. But I was, reading this book, and I don't know, I had this weird, dissociative moment where it's I was reading the book, I turned the page to a new chapter, and, just out of the blue, the author just, without warning, starts describing in detail the very room I'm sitting in, reading the book.
No, that's funny.
And it was, because, the author ended up going to the quarry, but it was a very surreal experience, just suddenly having them describe your surroundings, and you feel like you're being watched or something. But yeah,
it reminds me of the time I fucking was in my car and I hit this old lady a little bit in the night. It was a rainy night. She was she shouldn't have been in the road, dumb bitch. And then I was listening to the radio, and the cops started describing a vehicle that hit an old woman, and then I slowly realized they were talking about my car, which is when I knew I had to hit up the body shop and get a spray paint job to take the heat off.
Yeah, and they were talking about my mother that you hit, asshole.
Bro, she's fine in more ways than one. That bitch is fine. That's bad.
Yeah,
it's bad. Why was she doing some Stephen King shit then? Tell her to get out of the fucking road. What's she doing in the fucking road, man? What's she walking in the street for? There's a perfectly good sidewalk.
I don't know. Ask her next time you see her.
You ever on a dig site? This is what I wanted to ask you. You ever on a dig site and you find something interesting, but it's not dinosaur related? You ever find like Jimmy Hoffa on a dig site?
Not Jimmy Hoffa, but yeah, no, sometimes you find interesting things. I do know that there have been times where people have found archaeological artifacts when they're out there looking for dinosaur bones. And I do know that there are instances, where, okay, now we found like cave drawings or something like that, or, pottery or something. Now we got to get the government involved because anything
Kind of fucks
that
with the whole dig up, huh?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a problem for the dig, but I do know that sometimes if it's on private land, the landowners will not be happy about it just because they don't want the government coming onto their property and messing with their stuff. So I have heard of instances in which landowners are like, oh, if you find any Native American artifacts on my land, I don't want to hear about it.
See, that's making there's a whole other discipline of like, I guess it would be like anthropologists who are like all angry about that going on, right? But
it's interesting because just sort of the areas in which archaeology and paleontology are sort of similar yet different. Like, I know that archaeologists get so much more government support and funding than paleontologists do, which
fuck
is
that
weird.
shit. Why do you think that is? Dinos not interesting.
I imagine it has to do with. I think that it has to do with just sort of a lot of the laws involving Native American cultural artifacts and stuff like that. There's just a whole bunch of laws in place, but I do know that while there are tons and tons of archaeologists that work for the U.S. government, the Bureau of Land Management, which is responsible for like a good chunk, like a very big chunk of the federal land that fossils are found on, they have in their employ a grand total of 4 state paleontologists. So each paleontologist working for the BLM is in charge of multiple states.
You think that's a good gig? You think you want to be one of them government dino guys? Government bonermen?
I believe that is a very easy way to find yourself incredibly overworked, since you'd be in charge of any fossils
found. You're just one of 4 guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder what that pays like.
I think it's a government job. I can't imagine it pays too well.
Trump would appoint like Candace Owens to that. It'd be hilarious. Anyway, I don't want to get political, but I do want to ask you this. You ever find a fucking like artifact on one of these dig sites that like, you pull it out of the dirt and it's like a carving of like a little fucking skeleton guy or something, like something fucking freaky. And then you look around and everybody's eyes start bleeding and shit. You ever have something like that happen? And it's the beginning of The Exorcist, basically.
I mean, yeah, and that's why I'm not allowed in the state of Wyoming anymore.
That's their loss, brother. Because you know what? You're a good lad. And you do great things for these magnificent dead creatures that will never be alive to appreciate what you do for them. Does that ever piss you off? That they'll never be alive to appreciate, the work you're putting into preserving their memory? That would piss me off. I feel like I'd have a bone to pick with these bones, What do you think? You ever feel upset about that? Kind of a thankless job. Who's going to thank you? The dead dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even if they were alive, they still wouldn't be thanking me for it.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you want to go into the whole like dinosauroid topic, or
you never saw Dinotopia? They don't have to be dinosauroids. You get Dinotopia. They're dinosaurs, but they talk because they're beautiful and cute, smart. Right.
I'd like a pet dinosaur.
You would, right?
Mhm.
Kind of brings me to my next question. If we had the technology today, right now, to bring back dinosaurs, to bring them back, full, full Jurassic Park, should we do it? Would you like that, or do you think we should heed the wisdom of Michael Crichton and like never do this thing that like ever because it's gonna be bad no matter what, or do you think like they're a bunch of pussies, and you think it'd be cool to see dinosaurs walking around again?
I mean, I'm all for it. Like whenever somebody brings up this topic to me and they're like, "No, but Jurassic
Really?
Park," I'm like,
Full send,
I-
full send in your
Yeah.
mind. No hesitation. Fuck him. Michael Crichton was an asshole. Whatever. That's not gonna happen to us. That's not gonna happen. That was Hollywood garbage. And what happened to those people? We're gonna do it different. We're gonna do it better. It's not gonna happen to us. That's what you're saying.
Listen, we've already lived through, the pandemic. That like we lived through the most boring apocalypse imaginable. Like if we're gonna have another one, at least make it exciting this time.
What kind of dinosaurs would you like to see brought back to life? Which ones? What species? What would you like to see?
I mean, I'd love to see theropods, ankylosaurs.
Tickle chicken?
Oh, of course, the tickle chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, tickle chicken seems huge.
And maybe if it actually is revived, we'll be able to come up with a way, a standard pronunciation for it, because even amongst paleontologists, everybody pronounces the name of that guy differently.
Therizinosaurus. What do they say? Therizinosaurus?
Some do, yeah. Some
stupid.
say Therizinosaurus, some say Therizinosaur, some say Therizinosaur.
Where's the guy who named it?
I actually don't know about the guy who named it. I'll have to look into that, but I know that
Because if he's alive, we just be like, dude, it's your word that you made up.
Okay.
How we
All
pronounce
right.
Why did the camera do that? Did you see that? What the fuck was that? It's fucking weird, right? Why did that happen? What the fuck was that? Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, Harris. Something weird happened.
Oh yeah. Well, I will say that even then, like even if the guy's still alive, which I don't think so, because I know
he's not. You want to know how I know that?
I mean that the tickle chicken was found like ages ago.
I was to say because I hit him in my car.
Oh, okay.
When I was drunk.
Another one? Yeah, you were driving in your car after a beer. Did the bump look like a deer too, Michael?
Get a load of this. Get a load of this. You'd bring back the tickle chicken? What else?
Let's see. I mean, I want to know just how sauropods functioned, because that is something that is still a mystery to paleontologists in several ways.
What do you mean function? What does that mean? How they function? What do you mean how they function? What does that mean?
So basically, when just their size, due to the square cube law, it presents a whole variety of problems in just like, okay, how were these things able to be alive? Because if you think about it, think about how incredibly powerful a heart needs to be to pump blood,
Yeah.
down.
Couldn't you just say all this about like the really fat guy?
I mean, I think that's like where heart attacks come in to the equation.
Maybe I mean, the dinosaurs are all dead. Like maybe that's how it happened. Maybe that's why. Maybe they were all just had heart attacks because their arteries were clogged and shit.
Yeah, they were eating, McDonald's.
Eating dino nuggies with high fructose corn syrup ketchup. Is that possible, Harris?
Well, I mean, are you planning on
Anything
learning?
is possible with the power of Jesus Christ. Christ makes all things possible, Harris. Except dinosaurs. That's for nerds. Bitches. Okay.
Another thing about sauropods that I think is interesting. I one time heard a talk that mentioned. I'm not quite sure like how much research has been done to support this, but basically the talk said that the largest sauropods that we found are about 120, 130 feet long, and there's a chance that that is the largest an animal could, hypothetically reach, because getting larger is a disadvantage. Not only do you need to eat like exponentially more the larger you are, to the point where you could starve to death if even if you're eating 24/7, you could starve to death if you're too big.
Yeah, then you have problems like nothing fits you, right? Can't shop. Can't shop for clothes like that. You got to go to big and tall men. You got to shop at Torrid.
But the thing that I hadn't even considered up until that point is the fact that, okay, if you're about 120 feet long, if something bites you on the tail, or if your tail ends up like going into a fire or something, it would take a full 1/10 of a second for the nerve signal to reach your brain and for you to realize, oh, I'm in danger.
Is that true, or is that speculation? Are we
based on
models? Based on math models of math?
I did look into it a bit, and it seems that there's a large degree of variation in sort of nerve impulse travel time that has a whole bunch of different things that could impact it. But it just sort of drives the point home that the larger you are, there are sort of things that bigger is not always better, essentially.
No, it makes sense. I think if you're 120 feet long, though, nothing's gonna fuck with you, right? Like, are you talking about like Diplodocus or something? Like, I feel like anything that went near that just got tail whipped in the fucking neck, and it was just, you're done, right? No, it's a non-issue in my mind, because I mean, if you're gonna go fucking start nibbling on that thing, you're not gonna survive what happens after that, right?
Tail whipping is actually something that has been put forth as a potential defense mechanism for sauropod dinosaurs.
I thought I saw that somewhere. That's actually, I just came up with that theory completely independently because I'm smart. I knew that. Who do you think came up with the theory? He's like, oh, actually, that's a theory. Yeah, motherfucker. Where do you think the theory came from? Yours truly, dude.
So why are you interviewing me here if you're already a paleontologist, Michael?
I mean, I'm just a dabbler who, once in a while has a eureka moment, I haven't dedicated my whole life to it because I'm not a dweeb, So I kind of just, I'm kind of like, I will let the world of paleontology borrow my genius occasionally from time to time when I'm not busy using it on other things. So
that is very generous of you. Thank you.
You're welcome. I accept your gratitude on behalf of the entire establishment of paleontology.
As you should.
But yeah. Yeah, that is crazy. Bigger is not always better. Sometimes being bigger is a liability, sure. Just like my mother-in-law. We got to get a fucking laugh track here. Go download a fucking laugh track sound effect, please, and put it in.
Download a Booge soundtrack.
Don't listen to him. No, don't listen to him. So yeah, full send on Dino Park.
Oh yeah, full send. Although actually there actually is some actual work that is currently going into that.
Is that true?
I mean, aside from the whole incredibly well-preserved mammoths that have been found at this point, and there are some people trying to clone the mammoths. But in terms of dinosaurs, there has been research. The way Jurassic Park does it is not going to happen just because the way they do it, it's like, okay, DNA preserved in amber. It's like that DNA has an incredibly short half-life. If we were going to use DNA found in amber potentially, or rather DNA that is from 66 million years ago, you'd only get like 1/1 billionth of the DNA that was once present.
It's brain dead. Yeah, it's all degraded. You can't use it. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what has been done and is actually seeing some success is, so it seems like modern birds, or I would say that this type of thing would apply to a lot of animals, is that there's dormant genes in the DNA. And what they
Gene editing with like CRISPR to go and turn them on, turn some of them on, turn some of them off, and then create a new creature that's kind of like a snapshot of what it was at a point in the past. Right.
More or less, yeah. No, turning on dormant genes. Apparently, there have been, tests that have been done where they've turned on in chickens, like turned on the gene for sharp teeth.
Turn off the beak. Turn off the beak. No beak.
Yeah, I don't think they've done that yet, but they are going and basically turning on genes that make the chicken more dinosaur-like.
Fucking horrifying. Horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. That's playing God. That's, that's. What's the worst that happens? So you make a fucked up chicken, you pay people, you charge people money to come look at it, throw popcorn at it or whatever. He's gonna have a good life. Yeah, he's gonna be a fucking freak, but he's gonna be a beloved freak. It's like me. Yeah, I'm a freak and a loser, but some people like me, I guess, right? Ostensibly.
Yeah, you can tell yourself that. But I had a thought, but it absolutely.
I don't even tell myself that.
Yeah. I'll be right back. I think I'm going to turn on the lights in here.
I was going to ask you to do that. Oh my God, you see his penis? The jacket flashbang. They posted the stupid fucking cat emote.
Was my fly open?
Yeah, it's okay.
Again?
We didn't see anything. It was.
Unfortunately, turning on the lights means there's going to be a bit of glare.
Nah, it's fine. Who gives a shit? We're going to wrap up soon anyway. It's been, But I did want to ask you this real quick before we go. Do you want to talk about the time that you posted the Princess Peach, what was it, fart porn in the Discord? Do you want to talk about why you did that and what motivated that? Did you want to discuss the Princess Peach fart kink thing that happened that time in the Discord? That Buntime loved that when you did that.
Mike, if making a joke about a rancid fetish one time means that you are self-reporting, then you've got a lot more to lose than I do.
That's fair. No, it's just Buntime brings it up all the time, and it's just very funny to me. She's like, maybe the time that happened, and I'm like, yes. She looks mad. Why are you mad? What? She brings it. She says she doesn't bring it up all the time, but she brought it up enough for me to bring it up now. Listen, you're in good company, man. Look at Lamango. Lamango's still in the doghouse for the Bert and Ernie breast porn. What was that shit? What was that shit that time? What was that shit he posted?
To be fair, I didn't even post anything that was not safe for work.
No, I don't fucking. That's whatever. I just think it's funny.
I think I remember like just a couple weeks after that happened, I went onto Twitter and saw that like Lil Nas X posted the exact same picture.
Did he?
I think so, yeah. Which sent me for a loop.
Well, I think he's definitely into, It's a little premature. Let's try it again.
Yeah, nobody was accusing Lil Nas of huffing farts just because,
I'll accuse him of huffing farts. I'll do it right now. Lil Nas huffs farts. Lil Nas huffs farts. He does.
Yeah, and
I know.
Based on your history, you love, Sonic the Hedgehog's feet.
I get your point. Just want to put it on the record that I don't love that. Just want to make that very clear for posterity's sake. I don't love that. It's not my thing. It's never been my thing. It's never going to be my thing, no matter how much some of you might want that. Harris, did you watch Barney as a child?
I did, yes.
You think that helped inspire your love of dinosaurs? We were talking about Barney last night on stream, which you would know if you were there, but
Listen, I had people covering my shift.
Mhm.
But before I say anything, I would also like to clarify that no, I am not into fart shit.
brother, no one said that.
You had on a previous stream accused me of it.
Me? What?
Yes, you.
No,
You.
I would never
Yes.
do that. What? No, what? Did I do that? No, I don't do that. I don't accuse people of things like that. So Barney, formative character for you, or not so much?
Yeah, no, I when I was little, I was huge into Barney.
Yeah, I love you. You love me. We're a happy family.
Thank you, Mike. I love you too.
I do care about you quite a bit, being that you're my son. And a success story. I've said this before. I love to see a Jabronimike success story, right? Because we're underdogs, aren't we? This community.
We are the most oppressed minority.
We are. We're an oppressed minority. That's correct. We're an oppressed minority. People think we're degenerates. People think we're losers. And they're right. But that doesn't mean that we can't achieve great things. So I just want to say I just love that. I love seeing a success story from this community. And I'm hoping that we're going to see more success stories like Harris's in future episodes. Right? And that's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, hope so. I mean, nobody wants to show that peaks on episode 1.
The what on episode 1?
No, I said nobody wants to show that peaks at episode 1. So hopefully there's more success stories.
I mean, it could peak here. Maybe if you did something crazy like chugged mayonnaise. You should go in that Smeg refrigerator back there and pull out a jar of mayonnaise and just eat it with your bare fists. And I'll time you, see how fast you can polish off the whole jar of mayonnaise. That's content.
Another idea, we can show hole in sync.
You want to do synchronized hole exposure?
Hell yeah, brother.
Time, you want to show hole too?
No.
She said no for some reason. Go see. You got mayonnaise in there? Let me see if you got any mayonnaise in there.
I've got mayonnaise in there, but I don't know how old it is.
Don't do it.
Eat it, just the whole jar.
No, don't do it.
Eat a whole jar of mayonnaise with your bare hands. Do it. No, don't do it. I'm just kidding. No, don't do it. No, he's not gonna do it. He's not gonna. He's a coward. He won't do it. So.
Oh well, yeah.
What's your? He's going for it. It's going to be bad for your arteries, man. You don't do it. It's going to clog up your fucking heart and shit. Don't do it. He's looking at the expiration. He's looking at the expiration date. He's looking at the expiration date. He's like, will this kill me?
It expired like 8 months ago.
Okay, don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Next time.
Yeah,
next time we'll prep.
I'll be sure to
that.
stock up on mayonnaise next time.
What's your favorite dinosaur and why is it Quetzalcoatlus?
That's not a dinosaur.
Shut up. Shut the fuck up and listen to my business idea. Quetzals, pretzels. It's pretzels, big soft ones like Auntie Anne's, but they're shaped like the Quetzals. What do you think of this? Do you want to get on the ground floor of this with me?
That's a brilliant idea.
You know anything about pretzels?
Put that on Shark Tank.
You know anything
I know
about
nothing about
pretzels? You think you could learn?
I'm sure I could learn.
Pretzels.
Yeah, pretzels. Let's
Not
do
the
it, man.
worst. Not the worst fucking idea.
Yeah, no, get that on Shark Tank.
Give me a worse idea than that right now. Demonstrate that it is not the worst idea.
All right.
What is that? Is that water?
Yeah, I just poured an entire bottle of water on my head for no reason.
Why?
You asked me for a worse idea. I just did it.
Wow, now I can't accuse any of you of not bathing ever again. Video evidence of a Jabroni chatter bathing. There you have it. Now, see, we might have just peaked, actually, with that. We might have just peaked. No, I meant something like, I don't know, Stegosaurus steaks. Stegosaurus. Steaks in the shape of a Stegosaurus.
And Kylosaurus pretzels. That's a worse idea.
Oh, because that doesn't have the wordplay. That's dog shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, you fucking see, and I believed in you to come up with a horrible idea. You didn't let me down. Before we wrap up, what do you want people to know about paleontology? What do you think people out there should know about your life's work? Not your life's work, but paleontology in general. What do you think? What do you wish people knew about what you do for a living?
I think there's a lot of people out there who think that paleontology is just a bunch of guesswork, and that it's not like some people say it's not a real science, where it's like I know full well just like how much actual science goes into it. Like there are things there are papers out there that'll make your head spin just from how dense they are. It's like if you're talking about like the evolutionary family tree and stuff and how things are related to one another, there will be people who are like, oh yeah, I ran this computer program that generated 14 million potential phylogenetic trees, and it came up with this one as the most plausible answer. And there's things like finite element analysis where they see where they're doing things like they learn about bite force and learn about maybe how things or what things may have been like prey items for a certain dinosaur, and they do that by looking at like how much basically how much pressure is exerted on different parts of the skull when it chomps down to bite. And they've got these 3D models where you can see like it's colored, there's deformation in this part of the skull more so than here, and so it indicates that it
I've seen this in documentaries. It's pretty damn cool. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And there's things like that finite element analysis. There's things like when the color reconstruction, which involves going under microscopes, looking at melanosomes, and just there's things like I've done a bit of work with electron backscatter diffraction, and it's like all people think that
Star Trek tachyon fields. What?
It has to do with high-powered like electron microscopes and how light refracts off of certain things in weird patterns and stuff. It is very complicated. Frankly, it was some stuff that I was doing for like another person. I was getting paid to do it for another person's research project, and I never fully understood what I was doing myself. But it's like I was just doing the work and giving the guy the results in this case. But yeah, it's actually a very hard science. And yeah, while there are times in which we need to make educated guesses, those are educated guesses based in like very, very well researched stuff a lot of the time. I mean, it's not just sort of just guesswork and thinking like, oh yeah, no, I think this would be cooler stuff. It's like it is a hard science.
It's hard.
People make biomechanical models and stuff.
I've seen him. I've seen him making like, oh, we want to figure out how ichthyosaurs swam around. They'll build a little dumbass fucking pool toy. They'll build a little like robot ichthyosaur, put him in a pool, like set him in there to like swim around, record it, get all math data off of its fins and shit, and publish a paper on it. That's what you're talking about, right?
Something kind of like that. I feel like a lot of people nowadays use more computer models, but there have been instances where I know that they've done things like that. And
what was the one we watched with David Attenborough? What was the pliosaur, right? Remember that one with the fucking the Harris? What was the fossil they found in England in the side of the cliff with the skull? It was like a mosasaur, but it wasn't a mosasaur. It was something like similar to a mosasaur.
Yeah, there are several things found in
Tylosaurus, I think it was called.
Okay, Tylosaurus.
And they found this fucking thing. This guy was, I think he was looking for fossils. I think he knew there was fossils in the area, and it was like something he used to like go. He kind of lived nearby, and he was like into it. So he went down there one morning. He was walking along the beach, and it's the type of beach where, you look to your left, you look to the right, and there's the ocean, and you look to your left, and there's like a fucking 60-foot sheer cliff face. You know what I mean? Going like all the way up to, the grasslands or something up there. You know what I'm saying? And he's walking on the beach, and he sees like a fucking 12-foot long chunk of jawbone just sitting there on the beach. It had fallen out of the side of the fucking cliff. And he was like, holy shit, what even is that? And he calls the museum or whatever, and they go down there, and then they have to spend I think they spent like 6 weeks painstakingly chiseling the rest of the skull out of the side of the cliff, suspended from bungee cables and shit. Literally risking life and limb to salvage this skull intact. And have you not heard about this incident? This took place like 2 years ago.
Listen, you'd be surprised at just how much stuff like this happens. I mean, paleontologists will fairly frequently get like helicopters involved if they can't move something because it's too big. Like being out in the field can be dangerous. Like I remember first year I ever went out on a dig when I was doing some prospecting. I had sort of a near-death experience, or what I think was probably a near-death experience. But it's something that, I do think I vaguely remember hearing something about that a while ago, but I don't remember it in detail.
Well, it was a documentary with David Attenborough. Are you trying to eat, by the way? I want to watch him eat.
Yeah, I was hamming it up again.
Put a piece of ham in your mouth.
You gonna use the Minecraft eating sound?
Yeah.
All right, get ready.
Thanks. It was a documentary at David Attenborough. He and the point was not only did they have the bite force modeling thing you were talking about, but they also had someone made a model of the Tylosaurus, and like a physical model of it, and put it in a pool. And they were having it swim around because they wanted to see, again, how they thought it moved or something. You don't remember the name of that fucking thing, that documentary? Fucking, if anyone in chat knows, it's pretty good. I'm recommending it to you. But let's not bury the lead here. Did you say you had a near-death experience?
Yeah, believe it or not, it was actually when I was taking a hike up for the first time in my life, see the KPG boundary, which is, the thin layer of rock that represents when the asteroid hit and the dinosaurs all died out. And I was just climbing up sort of a pretty steep slope at the time, and we were on what we call popcorn gravel. It's sort of like a bentonite, and what happened is I was just sort of walking uphill, and sort of the ground gave way underneath me. I slid down hill for a while, and I was able to stop myself like right before a massive drop that I imagine probably would have killed me.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well,
So I almost died like, while looking at, the layer of rock where the dinosaurs died.
who would have covered your shift?
I know. Yeah, what do you do when a chatter dies? Like, who covers their shift?
I don't know. We gotta look into that. Harris.
Michael. Michael.
You ever do DMT?
No, I don't do drugs. Like a responsible, law-abiding citizen, I just became an alcoholic instead.
Best. Well, you'd have done DMT, haven't you? Because you have a dinosaur master thesis, do you not? DMT?
I guess so. Fun time now would be the time to use that boo sound effect you definitely downloaded.
Don't be a little bitch and tell everybody about your master's thesis.
All right, so my master's thesis, which I'm still sort of in the process of editing for eventual publication. So a big part of it, I mean, the part that I enjoyed about it the most, at least, was me looking into troodontid histology and ontogeny, which basically means I looked at cross sections of troodontid bones, which are kind of like small raptors. And by looking at the rings in the bones, because bones form annual rings a lot like trees do. So you can, so you can figure out the age of bones from, or the age of an individual by looking at a cross section of the bone.
And this goes for like all boned creatures? Like you could tell I'm 39 by like checking out my bone?
Yeah. So specifically by looking at the leg bones.
Like bones.
Generally, yeah. Or well, actually, no. Okay, no. All the bones really. I got mixed up with what I was about to say next. Is that what I did was there you can figure out body mass from bones by how thick they are essentially, and a lot of times you would use leg bones for that. Specifically, you'd often use the femur because that is the main weight-bearing bone, at least in like bipedal animals, and so it has a direct correlation with body mass. And so what I did was by looking at those sort of rings in the bone, by finding the sort of circumference for each of those rings, I was able to put it to body mass and see basically how much these troodontids grew year by year. And what I found was that it looks like not only is the sort of body mass of the troodontids probably bigger than what we initially thought. We thought that they would maybe max out at about 100 pounds, as an adult. But I found multiple bones that suggested they could get up to be like 150 pounds. But also, it seems like this may be the result of sexual dimorphism in that, one of the sexes would end up being this larger, 150 pounds as an adult. The other would be the smaller 100 pounds. And it seems more likely right now that it would be the males who were the smaller of the two and that the females would be the larger.
Girl boss.
Girl boss. But I can actually, if you let me screen share again, I can actually show you sort of like a comparison.
Of course. Yeah, let's see it.
Just sort of like, okay, old size versus new size, and this would also represent, if I'm correct about it being a sexual dimorphism thing, it would show the difference in size between the two sexes.
So this dinosaur, we called him Troodon when we played Ark Survival Evolved because it was spelled Troodon. I would have said Troodon if it was one O. On account of there being two O's, we called them Troodons. And they were small in the game. They were little like cat-sized things, I'm going to fucking say. And they were very annoying. They would do a thing where they would knock you unconscious for no reason. It was a very, very bad game. But it had them. It had the Troodons. So I know the things you're talking about. They were. I have a disdain for them, but because of Ark Survival Evolved, I have a nice, I'm gonna say healthy, disdain for them, even though they may not deserve that over any other dinosaur.
I would say that, like, even if they, were fairly small, they were certainly larger than cats. Like, did my
Sounds
screen
like it.
show?
You're saying 150 pounds.
Yeah, did my screen show screen share work?
That's, you know what? Nah. That might be a little bit more accurate to what it was like in the game,
So
actually.
well, yeah, and this is what
Yeah, that
the
might be a little
original
more.
size of. This is the original size for a while. Is what was believed, but now, you
Okay.
can see comparison. Bit
Those
larger.
are the male and the female, maybe perhaps.
Yeah,
They
although
love
I
they
don't
love
know.
each other. They love each other. They're in love.
Yeah, so I do know that some people that I've spoken to think that it may just be individual variation. That it could just be normal.
Yeah, like the one on the left is just a manlet, basically.
Yeah,
One on the
basically.
left is just a little bitch, and the one on the right is like he's like the Chad, right?
Yeah,
just
but I
regular
thought,
variation. I have another question about the image. Why is that one on the left like? Is he gonna like eat that guy's penis?
I think that's an arm, Michael. That's a bit high up to be a penis.
Why would they put that there like that? Doesn't that look like a penis? Like, isn't that kind of evocative of a penis?
I mean, if anything, it looks like it's coming out of his belly button area, so I wasn't thinking penis. I mean, I think you're just cock-brained.
I think that if they wanted that to be an arm, they should have done that. They should have done that a little differently, And I mean, I don't know why it needs to be like a black and white silhouette. That also lends to the naughty dino sex implications.
But well, I mean, you do you, man. Yeah. So even though some people I've spoken to weren't convinced, I mean, I found sort of like a big jump in adult body masses. That's like between that 100 pounds, 150 pounds. There didn't really seem to be much in between there, and it seemed to be sort of an even 50-50 split.
That would indicate sexual dimorphism.
Yeah,
rather than just some of them were like chunkers, and some of them were just like
Yeah,
shorties.
admittedly, my sample size was fairly small, but I mean,
You just got to find more Troodons.
Yep. Yeah. No, I'd love to. And I know that although you despise Troodons, I think that they're amazing. I mean, not only they're considered the smartest dinosaurs out there.
Is that true? Why?
Yeah. Well, the way that, I mean, of course, there are
They bought
exceptions.
Bitcoin at the bottom?
Nah. It has to do with the size of the brain. So generally, animal intelligence is determined by the ratio between the size of the brain case and body mass. And they had, out of all the dinosaurs that we have, like the brain case size of, they had the largest relative to their body mass. So it's believed that they had intelligence equivalent to like modern corvids, like crows and ravens and stuff.
Yeah. He probably could have did math. Gave him a little abacus.
Yeah, no. I mean, who knows? Like, I've seen videos online of like ravens
Using
solving
tools.
puzzles and stuff. Yeah. No.
It's all a video of a fucking raven or a crow, and he had a power drill. And he was fixing up somebody's mailbox.
Must have been a big one to be able to hold something so heavy.
Yeah, he was large. Actually, I'm confused. Wait, no, that was a guy. Yeah, it was just a guy.
I get guys and ravens confused all the time too.
That was a dude.
Don't worry about it.
My bad. That was a dude. Now that I think on it, that was just a dude. That wasn't a crow.
Yeah, they're easy to mix up.
It was a bro, not a crow. Yeah.
Provide the booze.
So, yeah, man. Thanks for coming on. We're gonna do a little Q&A segment, though. How's that sound? You want to answer some?
Yeah.
See if chat's got some questions about, your job and your life and shit.
Yeah, sure thing.
Let's Can I see the chat? Can you give me? Can I? Anyone got? Let's open it up to questions. Anybody got any questions? All right, let's start with one from Cozy Capuchin. Did dinos really have double Ds?
I mean, like it said at the beginning of the dinosaur with double Ds, there's no evidence to suggest that they didn't.
Right, because that would have been
they didn't.
that would have been soft tissue that would have been destroyed. It wouldn't have been preserved. Like a soft titty would not have been preserved in the fossil record. So basically, all of these dinosaurs could have been walking around with fat honkers.
I mean,
Every
frankly,
single one of them
there
could have been hauling milk bags. All of them, even the guys. Would you move that
Especially
chat
the
to the
guys.
right, please? Would you move it like over to the right of the? Especially the guys. Here's another question. What is the stupidest looking dinosaur that you've seen? Stupidest looking dumbass dog shit dinosaur.
Yeah. I know of so many incredibly stupid looking, like, prehistoric animals, but dinosaurs specifically. Oh, that's a tough one.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to stupid looking prehistoric things in general, I mean, not dinosaurs, but Catylorhynchus, I'm sure
What's
you
that?
know.
No.
Well, I mean, you have been made aware of it in the past because it was on that Smasher Pass I sent
Oh, was
you.
it that like the little fat thing with the tiny little head?
Yeah, the fat thing with the head that looks way too small for its body.
That
Like
was one of the like a synapsid, right? That thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Another one. I believe it's a topodentatus is what I believe it's called. And it has it's an aquatic. It's an aquatic animal, and it has sort of like a mouth looks like a vacuum. Very weird looking mouth. And it looks very dopey. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
Talking about the Tully monster, they call it.
No.
You know that thing. You've seen that thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here is a good picture. Let's see.
Here's a good question. If you discovered a dino, what would you name it?
I'd say it depends on the circumstances. I mean, of course, if I'm working on private land, it would generally the thing to do would be to name it after landowners.
Wrong.
And
Wrong.
yeah, I know you want to say you want me to name it after you. And listen, if I find a pachycephalosaur, I feel like that would be good justification.
Yeah.
Yes, because bald. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shiny
that's cute and
from-
everything, but didn't we have a conversation earlier about how you basically owe your entire career and livelihood to me, and I nurtured your career, you nurtured your passion through these years, and how basically you wouldn't even be a paleontologist if it wasn't for me, and how basically if it wasn't for me, you would be dead in a ditch somewhere, rotting. They'd be finding your fucking bones, okay? If it wasn't for me, because you'd have starved to death, like impotent and alone and fucking irrelevant. Isn't that true? Isn't that fucking true? And doesn't that really, shouldn't you really, in all rights, name a dinosaur after me with all of that taken into consideration? Yeah. With all of that in mind, really, I think you should name a dinosaur after me. Yep.
So, if you take a look, let's see. Yeah, fun time. If you could do the screen share, you'll see a topodentatus.
Oh, I've seen this thing. This thing is dopey as shit. Remember, I saw there was, at one point, they thought that the beak was sideways or something?
Now, they thought that originally it may have had like a weird 3-part mouth, like the Arbiter from
Oh yeah,
Alien, and
right.
it looked like an absolute
Yeah.
nightmare creature. But that's just because of
That looks like
the
shit.
way that it's the way the fossil was like compressed. It sort of did weird things to this specific mouth, just because this mouth is weird, and it got preserved in a really weird way.
But this here feels accurate, right? Thank you. This thing here feels correct, right? At this point, like we know now that it was this and not some other dopey shit.
Yeah, we've got more fossils of it now.
He looks like he's got a banana in his mouth. Any other questions before we cut Harris loose, guys? Anything? Do you think that Herrerasaurus was a dinosaur or was a proto-dinosaur?
That is.
I don't know what the fuck that even. I know Herrerasaurus.
Yeah, but I mean,
It's like a little fucking. It's like a little T-Rex type fucker, right? Little one. It's a little.
not really.
It's a fucking theropod, right? It's a little meat carnivore theropod.
It is a very basally sort of in the basal dinosaur area. It's sort of where they're basically asking like, where do you think dinosaur?
So Herrerasaurus is a very early dinosaur.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, and it's basically about whether or not it should be considered a dinosaur or not. And I haven't really looked into it that much. I know that it is something that the scientific community sort of flip-flops around on, like, okay, yeah, Herrerasaurids, Silosaurids, I believe it's Silosaurids, but it really, at the end of the day, defining what can be considered a dinosaur is kind of arbitrary, just because I sort of touched on it earlier. We just sort of need to like decide on lines on where we draw the line, and there's no real. A lot of times, when it comes to something as fluid as evolution, you can't really. You just have to make a decision somewhere, draw the line there, and make it.
What is a dinosaur? But it is a miserable pile of secrets. Right.
Right.
Fuck, marry, kill. T-Rex, Stegosaurus, Pterodactyl.
I feel like pterodactyl would feel like it'd be very bony, so I'll just put that in kill.
Okay.
I'll fuck the T-Rex and marry the Stegosaur.
Fucking wild. You're gonna marry the Stegosaur? Why? What's the logic there? What's the thought process there?
It's not going to try and eat me.
Deer eat meat.
Generally, herbivores only eat meat when they don't have like when they're very resource starved.
Yeah. Stego might take a bite, take a nibble. Are you still wet?
Yeah, I'm still wet.
Why did you do that? It was cool. Don't get me wrong. It was fucking based. It's very epic. Definitely, I think we might have peaked, man. I don't know if anybody. I don't think we're going to be able to get any of the other guests to do some stupid shit like that. We're going to have Fuzzy Cat games on. Fuzzy Cat, you willing to pour something all over yourself like an asshole?
Yeah, no, he's got. Or Fuzzy Cat, you got to do something that's.
You got to up the ante.
More interesting than just water.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah, no, I just.
They said sure.
Yeah, some people in chat weren't around. Yeah, no, Mike asked me to give him an example of a bad idea, and I just poured a bottle of water all over myself, like an asshole.
I've done more for less. See if you think you could slam down an entire jar of mayonnaise with your bare hands. Look into the feasibility of that for me, okay?
All right, yeah, we can do that next time.
Let's take a couple like one or two more questions. What else you got for Harris, guys? What is the biggest bone? Strangely, Eric wants to know, what is the biggest bone that you have ever found in one piece? Probably one of the ones that Luffy eats when he eats the meat, and it's got the huge bone in the middle, right?
Yeah, well, actually, Little Garden, they've got some pretty big dinosaur bones there.
Where's that? I might not. Am I up to that arc yet? I might not have gotten to that
Yeah,
arc yet.
yeah, Michael, that was very Little Garden is where they met the giants.
Oh yeah. Gotcha. Great, cool, good arc actually. Good arc, pretty good arc. I thought.
Yeah, no, they had massive bones
Yeah.
bones there. Like, although no,
It was implied there was like prehistoric creatures living there.
well, not just implied. There were literal dinosaurs roaming around.
There were, right. Yep, correct. I remember. Yeah, Little
Hope
Garden.
that answered your question. No, but for real, like I have found bones that, I think it may have been like one of the first bones I found. It was, I still don't know the status of whatever happened to it. If like the people that I was out digging with ever went back to it, but it seemed like it was Triceratops leg bone.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was probably like maybe 4 or 5 feet. So I mean, not the biggest bone. I mean, they're certainly larger, but I found a lot of stuff over the years, and I've also learned that yeah, sometimes the things that you end up valuing as like the most important bones that you find are not necessarily what's biggest. Like in paleontology, yeah, a lot of stuff out there is big, but you know the things that I look to as for like the finds that I'm really proud of specifically. Like one time I found a large piece of amber that was probably like the size of a large grape. Whereas, you know, oftentimes when you find amber, a fossil amber, it is like, you know, a fraction. It is like dust practically, like a fraction the size of a grain of sand.
He's
And I
saying
found,
he's not a size queen. He's saying that sometimes the bigger, more impressive discoveries aren't large. They're like small things, right?
yeah, no, and also, I mean, I have found a couple of bones that belong to the holotype of a sauropod, a small sauropod known as Suwasia, and that I think that was interesting because it was like 2 separate occasions where I was just so for those who don't know, the holotype is the very first instance of a species of dinosaur being found, and it becomes like the standard to which like other fossils are judged against as to like whether or not it can be considered the same species. But on 2 separate occasions, like 3 years apart from one another, I happened to be walking over the site where this dinosaur was found, and it was found and dug up 20 years ago. And on both of these occasions, I stumbled across a bone that they missed.
Yeah. Wow. So, basically, they suck. You're like the man.
Yeah, that's the point I was making. Yes.
They're fucking. They're a loser, incompetent, failure, pathetic bitch, and you're the Chad. One more question for Harris before we end this shit. Okay, so is there a particular site in the world that you would like, where you would like to look for dinos, Harris? Is there a site you'd like to, or have you kind of been to the ones you care about?
No, I frankly, I mean, I've never done any sort of paleontology or any field work outside the U.S. So I know that there's all sorts of places that I'd love to go, and you know, I've got things that you know I'd love to see. Like obviously, I'd love to spend time in really exotic places, like you know, maybe I know a paleontologist from Egypt. I'd love to go out there. I'd love to
They
spend
find
a
a
bit
lot
of
of fossils in Egypt.
you know, that's actually so Egypt and Morocco are where you generally find Spinosaurus. The guy I know from Egypt, he's actually, believe it or not, he's actually the first Egyptian-born vertebrate paleontologist. Before him, all paleontology in Egypt was done by people who were not from the country. But he's this great guy who's raising like essentially the first generation of vertebrate paleontologists in Egypt. But
Egypt's the type of place where you have to be careful about, you're digging around, you're gonna pull up something that it gives you a curse, right?
Well, I
Got
mean,
fucking shit and blood and everything. No good.
one thing that I had heard this guy say is that a problem with doing paleontology in Egypt is that sometimes you may put a plaster cast on some bones or something to protect them, and then in the middle of the night, people will come and like break through that stuff and totally destroy the bones because they think that there's like ancient Egyptian artifacts underneath, and they don't realize that they're breaking through bones. So that
Because they see a
that is
dig site and they're like, oh, there must be some fucking
yeah,
payday down there. Yeah.
yeah, they see a dig site and they think that it is ancient Egyptian artifacts. They don't like even consider the possibility of it being a paleontological dig site.
And what if you
And
had like a mummy of a dinosaur? How fucked up would that be if you found that?
those exist. They're called dino mummies.
This is like the 12th time I said something like to be a dumbass, and you tell me it's real.
I mean, it's not mummy in the way that like they were wrapped up in stuff, but yeah, there are instances in which dino mummies have been found in which large portions of skin and tissues and organs and all of that have been preserved. And
Well, what the
believe
fuck are
it or
they
not,
calling it a dino mummy for? It was a. What are you saying? It's like the bog guy, like the peat bog guy, where they
yeah,
preserve the
basically,
skin and shit.
yep, that's
It's
basically
not
what
a
it is.
mummy though. A mummy is wrapped up in toilet paper and shit.
I mean,
Not a mummy.
it's a lot like a mummy in that it is just sort of like it looks very dehydrated and sort of all shriveled up. But
They have
yeah,
found entire dinosaurs like that.
I mean, I wouldn't say like entire dinosaurs, but large portions of dinosaurs. Like the museum that I that I was in charge of, that actually was home to one of the most famous dino mummies in the world, a hadrosaur called Leonardo. He's currently on loan in Japan. Part of the reason I went out to Japan earlier this year was to finally see my own museum's poster boy in person for the first time. But
Was Japan
yeah,
cool? Did you have fun?
oh, it was great. I absolutely loved it. And the museum there, the museum I went to, the Fukui Prefectural Dinosaur Museum, that's the museum that Leonardo is currently being held at.
And he's a mummy. He's a hadrosaur mummy.
Yeah, I can. I guess we can do screen share again. I got
I
a
would like
picture
to see a
of
picture
Leonardo.
of this. I'm very curious. I'm very intrigued.
Yeah. So let me get it up. There. So you're not gonna. I'll probably have to zoom into certain parts to see it, but I mean, basically from the picture, you're not gonna be able to tell much, but just know that like to paleontologists, we see this and we're able to see stuff involving muscles and organs and skin tissue and stuff. This is Leonardo, the hadrosaur.
Can you move the chat out of the way so I can take a look at that slightly? That's a good spot.
So
That's a good
right
spot.
here, down here you can see impressions of the skin, for instance.
Those are just like little scales.
Yeah, basically.
You didn't have feathers, this asshole?
No, it was for the most part it was theropods that had feathers. Although
Someone
there
in
have
chat was asking, real quick on the topic before you continue showing me this. Moop said, I'm writing a book that has obviously a work of fiction, I'm assuming, has a Parasaurolophus in it. Parasaurolophus would not have had feathers because that was not a theropod, that was a hadrosaur, correct?
Yeah, we have no evidence of we haven't found any evidence of feathers on hadrosaurs, although there have been some instances in which things have gotten a bit complicated because some very sort of early dinosaurs have shown possible evidence for feathers or things like feathers, and so it's like, right now the thing that the only real group of dinosaurs that we for sure know had like feathers in the way that birds today had feathers is the theropods. Although there are some like ceratopsians, for instance, that had what we refer to as proto feathers, which is it looks more like, even though they are early feathers, they are. I mean, just like how animals evolve, the sort of features on animals evolve as well. So these weren't feather. They're the evolutionary ancestors of feathers, but they just look like quills. So they look like,
Yeah, I saw they found I think it was an actually like a triceratops skin impression that had these like, I don't know. You know when you see a plucked chicken and it's got the little like goosebumps on it? Have you
no,
seen that?
yeah, no, I've seen that
You know
type
what
of
I'm
stuff.
talking
So
about? That triceratops?
yeah, so yeah, there are, and we do have other like relatives of Triceratops, like Psittacosaurus, which is a very small ceratopsian, and it has
Oh yeah,
protofeathers.
yeah, that little fucker. I don't know if you saw the stream where me and Buntime went to the Museum of Natural History in New York.
Oh yeah, no, I saw that.
And the Pistak, I can't fucking say that. They have like 50 of those guys there. They have eggs, they have babies, they have adults, they have males and females, they have full skeletons. It's fucking crazy. I might be exaggerating a little bit, but they have a ton of them. And they have preserved, they have there the impressions of the tail quill things. Like, looks like a fucking giant toothbrush or something, right? On his back.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks very weird in that they stop and start on the tail very suddenly.
Yeah, it's a really specific
But
spot.
yeah,
Do you remember
but we
that,
do
Buntime?
have like
She doesn't remember.
yeah,
But you know
we do
that
have
that
multiple
image
fossils
you
like
showed us it didn't have any like wrappings on it or anything.
no.
It's not a mummy. I'm just saying it's just not a mummy. Like, it's just technically not a mummy. Like, that's cool, but he's not. Leonardo is not a mummy. He's a bitch. That piss you off?
No, I just felt like, the silence with maybe like a cricket chirping sound effect would have been the appropriate response to that.
What, for calling
But
Leonardo a bitch?
yeah, but like
He is.
I don't
He's a
know,
bitch.
you don't have the cricket chirping sound effect yet.
He's a bitch. It's not a joke. It's a statement of fact. He's a bitch. What are you going to do about it? What is Leonardo going to do about it? Leonardo died a bitch and a scrub. I'm just kidding. He's beautiful. He's beautiful and cute. Yeah, chat. The fucking cricket would get a DMCA. Let's wrap this up. Harris, thanks so much for doing this. I hope you don't regret it too much.
This is I've had a great time,
I'm so glad, man.
and I feel like I had a whole bunch of planned topics that of things to talk about, and we didn't get to like half of them. So I feel like if you ever want to have me on again,
Part 2.
Yeah, part two.
Why would you why would you say that? We were having such a good time and everything. I mean, I'll have you come back and I'll tell you what, next time we will make sure that we get to the things that you want to talk about.
And the mayonnaise. I'll make sure to stock up on mayonnaise.
Okay. Well, you want say goodnight, Harris? I don't know. We don't know.
Good night,
I don't know
Harris.
really how to. Don't come on, man. I don't really
Night,
know
chat.
how to do this yet. I mean, just say goodnight, and then I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna thank people for subbing and shit real quick. I'm not gonna end the stream like right now. Just give me a minute. We're gonna do like what we do at the end of the game shows, because I know that a lot of you probably subbed. I just want to say thank you or whatever and talk a little bit about, I don't know, whatever just happened. I don't even know what the fuck just happened. Just put up the intermission and what?
You said you were gonna tell him to say goodnight.
I mean, Harris, do you want to say?
Yeah.
He already
Good night,
did.
chat. Night, chat. Pleasure seeing y'all.
Okay, thanks for coming on, Harris. I'll be right back. Everybody, the intermission screen. Guys, thanks for coming. I hope you enjoyed this content. If you can call it that. I don't know. I really appreciate you guys. I want to thank everybody who supported tonight. I'm going to thank specifically Purgatory. Thank you so much for 25 months. Sharif, Bruce Shepard. Guys, thank you for the gift subs. Bruce, thanks for 5 gifted. Swede Me gifted 25. Thank you so much. Sweaty Sharif, thanks for the bits, man. Sweaty gifted another sub. Last Logic. I don't know what to put here. And Fecal Consequences, thank you for the resubs. Free K with the gift sub. Thank you so much, buddy. We also got a non-gift and a sub. To Bones. We had new chatters. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for checking out my channel, New Chatters. You should interview Weird Al. Maybe I will. Not interview Weird Al. How the fuck am I going to interview Weird Al? You insane? Dijon, thanks for 51 months of support. Apples for a hollow. Thanks for 28 months. Estrogen, thank you for the gift sub. Blazing Saddle Sores, thanks for 28 months. We got rated, by the way, by Woos 57. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Rose Eater, thanks for 53 months. Saxima Fumpet, thanks for 51 months of Prime. Use the Primes or lose the Primes, guys. Harris made a lot of sense to me as a first guest because of my personal enjoyment of dinosaurs. A fucking a fish affinity for dinosaurs, right? That's cool. It was a cool time. Harris was a great guest. And if you think that you've got something interesting, you know, if you think you're an interesting person somehow, let me know and maybe we'll set it up. Maybe we'll have you come on. Okay, here's the deal. You got to be at least as interesting as HarrisBoe. If you can match that level of interesting, you're good. Right. I am so proud of you, Harris. You did a great job, buddy. You did a great job. What about if I'm so uninteresting that it's interesting? Mike, I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Moldavia's Fig Tree on the episode, the podcast tonight. You got to have enough yap material. I feel like if I just let Harris yap, like if I just got up and walked away, he could have just carried that for like fucking 12 hours. You got to come at me with that. More of that energy. Like, give me more of that. Right? Are you going to have Bunty on? Maybe. Maybe. The next episode is going to have Fred Knudsen as a guest. And then the episode after that is going to have Fred Knudsen again. And then for episode 4, I'm thinking Fred Knudsen. What do you guys think? We're going to have Fuck Dick Nutsuck on the show. Are any of your friends going to be on? Not really. I don't actually no. No, that's not planned right now, no. This is going to be more like finding interesting people that aren't like content creators. As all my friends are content creators at this point in my life. So, you know. No. I have my friends on. Are you going to have Joel on? No. No. What about indie game developers? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Are you an indie game developer? Maybe. That's interesting. Yeah. Voice actors? Yeah. I mean, I've already met a lot of cool voice actors from the villainous thing that I would ask to come on here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Probably more than one voice actor, I think. Yeah. Lumpy Touch? Oh, I would love to have Lumpy Touch come on. What a good idea. How'd you end up doing voice acting? My talent manager set that up and made that happen. Talent. What about Johnny Sins? Who the fuck is Johnny Sins? Sounds familiar. Who the fuck is that? The porn doctor? Is that the porn dude? Remember the porn dude? Remember that logo with the porn dude? The porn dude. Remember that? Fucking gooners. Is he interesting? I'll have him come on. I'll have fucking... What is he, an actor? Yeah, I would have a porn actor on. Yeah. That's interesting. Absolutely. Are you talking about doing a game jam? There's just so much happening right now. He's bold, so we can have bald to bold communication. Would you have a porn user on? I think I just did. Fart porn. No, I'm just kidding. He got really defensive about that, right? That was a little weird how defensive he got. He's fine. Bro, I would have did the same thing. I would have been like, for the record, I just want it on the record. I'm an accountant. I'll come on. You could come on and teach chat how to like evade their taxes. Right? You did do the same. I did do the same thing. Case in point. I love how the auto mod is now picking up fart porn, as it should. It should do that. The thing is working the way it's supposed to. It's working correctly. Guys, I'm be real with you. This entire idea is just an excuse for me to like use these suits that I bought. Mike, you gonna pull up the Silk Song thumbnail again? Nah, I'll give you a break on that. No, we'll give him a break. We'll give it a break. I'm gonna go, guys. Thanks for being here and watching this. Means a lot. Appreciate you all. Have a beautiful night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys on Monday. Lots of love. Oh, yeah, if anybody is new to the channel, fuck, I forgot. If anybody is new to the channel, please check out the links in the chat. Find me on, YouTube and Twitter, and join the Discord server, which you get stream notifications every night. We're going to be putting a lot of work into the Discord server in the next couple weeks. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good things, right? We're gonna be working real hard to get it to the place that it needs to be in. It needs to be in. Right. Change is scary. Yeah. Change is scary. I know that. But sometimes change is absolutely necessary, and I promise you, guys, I wouldn't want to take away something that or interfere with something that people are enjoying, but it is absolutely necessary. I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't completely 100% absolutely necessary, right? No more embed. We don't know about that yet. That's something that's on the table, certainly, but we haven't really come to a decision on it. But yeah, it's pretty important that we clean it up a little bit. We gotta clean it up a little bit, or we stand to actually lose it. So, yeah. But yeah, I obviously would love to see some support during this. What's probably going to be a not terribly easy time. Change we can believe in. Yeah. Genuinely though, in a good way. In a good way. Right. And yeah. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Don't let the dinos bite. Don't let the dinos do this to you.